Welcome everybody live to the Brevard Sports Network from Tom McIntyre Stadium. I'm Jackson Robb. Alongside me tonight is Logan Pettit, and tonight we have the Melbourne Bulldogs facing off against the Lake Brantley Patriots in the Kickoff Classic. Logan, how are we feeling tonight?
Feeling good, man. 2 days, 2 games. It's exciting that football's back, baby.
Yeah, I love to see the teams back on the gridiron here. Last night's game between Sebastian River and Bayside was an incredible game. We also had Cocoa and Satellite on the Brevard Sports Network tonight. We got this game along with O'Galley and Titusville. We'll tell you more about that in a minute, as we are already set for kickoff here, as Lake Brantley getting set to kick off. And we were watching this kicker in warm-ups. He has quite the boot, so I'll be interested to see how this kickoff goes. This is number 40, Emilio Bacardi, for the Patriots. Kickoff being held. Here's the kick, and it is end over end by Bacardi down to about the 10-yard line. It'll be returned.
I don't think they're doing. I don't know that they're doing live
no,
special
it doesn't
teams
look like
in this one. Last night they did. Tonight it doesn't look like they're going to. And you know, that's just a decision on the two coaches whether, you know, what you want to do. This is almost like a spring game played in the fall.
As we are now getting set to see the new look Melbourne Bulldogs team this season. They're only returning 2 out of 22 start. They lost 20 starters last season, and coming in with a fresh team under Coach David Kintigh. But, I mean, he's had plenty of success here at Melbourne these last few years. They made the playoffs 4 out of the last 5 seasons. And, you know, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle with some of these younger players, but you're building for the future at Melbourne. And tonight, we'll see what they got.
Yeah, and it's not only breaking in, you know, like you said, 20 new starters. They have a new offensive coordinator as well in Lyle Neighbor, who's coached around the county. He's coached under Dan Burke, so I imagine we'll see a good amount of running the football, as that's exactly
what they'll do. First down and 10.
Here.
As you say, that run up the middle, breaking a few tackles. A solid start here for the Bulldogs. That is number 3, E.J. Daly. And that's going to be a solid gain on first. That's a gain of about 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4. That new quarterback you see back there, number 9, sophomore Jordan Pidala, coming in this season from Pembroke Pines, transfer quarterback for the Bulldogs there. Didn't play his entire freshman campaign, but he looked promising in the games that he did play.
Yeah, Pembroke Pines is a pretty good program down in South Florida. I want to point something out. We have 2 names for 3 on the roster here who's playing running back. We got E.J. Earl Brown or Jalen Daly. So if somebody is in the comments and is able to drop who that actually is playing tonight, that would be a huge help.
I'm going to guess that E.J. stands for
Earl Jr.?
stand for Earl Jalen Brown. Or Earl Jalen Daly.
Well, the slash is what's throwing me off.
Yeah, well, there was a penalty there on Melbourne. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 for Melbourne, now back at their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, and like I said, they want to run the ball. They came out in the opening play and picked up a good gain of 6-7 yards.
So my mistake. Pidala is from a school in Pembroke Pines called Flanagan High School.
That's a very good program.
2nd down and 9. Handoff again to Daly up the middle. Breaks 1 tackle. Pushes forward for only a gain of about 2 this time. So a better response up front by Lake Brantley. So that's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 6 now for Melbourne. Run the ball the first 2 downs. Maybe we see our first pass out of Pidala here.
I don't know. You've had pretty good success running the football the last 2 plays. And, you know, you don't want to get locked into like what we saw yesterday in the opening 2 drives. The only time you were passing was 3rd down. I think you stick with what's working. You've ran the ball twice. You're averaging, I don't know, 4 or 5 yards. I mean, you could pick that up, and then it becomes a 4th and very manageable.
So Pidala is a freshman last year in 4 games, passed for 283 yards and 1 touchdown. Pidala drops back on 3rd down, throwing across over the middle. It's tipped and incomplete by number 45 for the Patriots there. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and Melbourne's going to be forced to punt.
Yeah, he hits there on the slant. It was a good route ran by the basketball player, Keone Collins. He said, heck, I'm an athlete too. I'll come out and play football. But really well ran slant, found a slot in the zone, but you can't hitch on a quick route like that. He's got to hit him, boom, as soon as the ball hits his hands and he comes into his break. And Keone Collins has the athleticism to turn that into a bigger gain.
So Melbourne going to get set to punt here on their opening drive of this game. And, you know, running 1st and 2nd, passing 3rd. It was a solid drive, but didn't end up getting a 1st down on that one, as the punter out there looks to be number 18, Brady Clark, to handle the punting duties.
I don't think this is going to be live either, so it's probably wherever they catch it. Yeah, and they got 2 return men, one kind of intermediary and one deeper. So
bounces, Clark, punt, going to go bouncing towards the sideline here, tiptoeing down the sideline. It'll be down by Lake Brantley at their own 41-yard line, and that's where we'll see the start for the Patriots, down by MJ Mitchell. So first down coming out of Lake Brantley now, as we're going to see their offense for the first time coming out against another very new-look Melbourne defense. 11 out of 12 starters are gone there, one of those being the reigning BSN Defensive Player of the Year, Logan Barnhill. So definitely a new-look defense, but they got some good players out there. You got Deuce Ingram playing defensive back, a notable name, and we'll hear a few more names tonight as they make plays. This looks like a little bit of a wing T look possibly.
Yeah, and I saw this when they were warming up. They definitely
keeper to the right side, breaks through. First play of the game for Lake Brantley is going to go all the way. Touchdown Patriots from 60 yards out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. They run the veer, the wing T veer triple option. We were talking about it on the way to Bayside yesterday, how Army and Navy run that. And in college football, they run it to a deficiency of talent. But, you can really get away with it running it in high school football. And right there, you just saw a simple load option play. Quarterback kept it, and that's a tough offense to defend.
Parker Perales with the keeper for a 60-yard Patriots touchdown to kick off the game. And, yeah, that was it. I think defense was fooled a little bit. I was for a moment there. Didn't know who had it, and then the quarterback squeaks through off the right side of the line and just slips through everybody for a touchdown. So a hot start for Lake Brantley here, as the extra point going to be handled once again by Emilio Bacardi.
Yeah, and if that's the offense they're going to run, I know Panucci likes to run that odd front in a 3-4, but the 4-2-5 was created to defend the triple option. I'd be interested to see if he goes to a 4-down look with a nickel or another backer in there.
And a hot start for Lake Brantley with 9:42 to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0. Patriots on top. We'd like to thank our lead sponsor of the night, the Cart Guys. Street legal golf carts for sale in Melbourne, Florida. Serving all the Space Coast and beyond. They sell advanced EV, Bentelli, and Kodiak golf carts. They are Brevard County's #1 golf cart supplier. Get approved today and start shopping for the perfect street legal golf cart. They even offer delivery. Give them a call today at 321-914-3877. We thank the Cart Guys, and you see the rest of their information on the bottom of your screen. So we thank them for stepping up and bringing you tonight's game. And, well, we saw a very hot start at Lake Brantley, but Melbourne's first drive wasn't too bad either. We'll see what they can bring here on the second opportunity to start this game. Kicking off will be Emilio Bacardi once again, and Bacardi's got quite a leg. We were seeing him drilling 40-yard field goals and warm-ups fairly easily, so that's something to watch for Lake Brantley. They got a good kicker, which in high school can definitely be an asset to have.
He slipped on the last kickoff. Let's see if he keeps his footing. Yeah, he does that.
That one, a good end-over-end kick down towards about the 7-yard line. It's going to be taken up, and then they take the knee at the 25 to start there for Melbourne. And now we'll see their second drive. We saw 1 pass, 2 runs on the opening drive. And if it wasn't really for that one penalty they had that set them back 5 yards, they were in good position to pick up a first down on that drive. And unfortunately, that error kind of pushed them back to force them to pass.
Oh, yeah, it's a drive killer, absolutely. And, any penalty that you take, but specifically one that's a pre-snap penalty, that's self-inflicted right there. You can't get too mad over penalties of aggression, in like a holding or something like that. But when you jump off sides, that's just, as a coach, that really frustrates you.
So here we go, first down and 10, Bulldogs at their own 25. Once again, Pidala in the gun, 2 receivers split either side. Hill, quick drop, throwing on the curly outside. It's hauled in, pushing towards the first down is Keone Collins on the reception, and that's a good play, quick out curl, and a good surefire reception there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell he's going to be one of their big play receivers. Like I said, coming over from the basketball team, him as well as Deuce Ingram, number 7, is one of the basketball players as well that came over to help out this year, and both of them are high-class athletes.
Now second down and about 3 for Melbourne at their own 32-yard line. Pidala in the gun. Back there with him again is E.J. Daly. High snap, play fake. Pidala rolls out, has a screen there, and that ball slips wide out of bounds, incomplete. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, I don't hate the decision there. Lake Brantley spiked that bubble screen. That's exactly what you need to do. Don't throw into spiking corner. Just get it out of bounds and live to play another down. It's third and very manageable.
We got an update here. On the second play from scrimmage, Heritage scores a safety. It's 2-0 Heritage up on Jensen Beach. Interesting score. As we got whistles here on the field. Officials timeout with 9:25 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Lake Brantley leading ahead of a 3rd down and 3 for Melbourne inside their own territory. So the roster on Max Preps, by the way, Logan, says number 3 is Earl Brown.
Okay, so it's the first name listed then.
I'm going to say,
I think we can
and
assume.
then EJ. So EJ Brown, I've been saying Daly, that's my mistake. But EJ Brown is the running back so far for Melbourne tonight, number 3, who's been handling those duties. As we come out of the officials' timeout, it's going to be 3rd down and 3 for Melbourne at their own 32-yard line, looking to make it up to the 35 for the first.
And if you're tuning in now, waiting on the O'Galley game to start, Daryl Duran in the comments has suggested that game is going to be starting at 7:30.
Pidala drops back, 3rd and 3. Quick throw out of the backfield. That is Brown. Breaks a tackle down the sideline with speed. One man to beat. He'll be brought down, but that's a big catch and run for E.J. Brown. And now it's 1st down Bulldogs inside Patriots territory.
Heck yeah, Sophomore's got some speed to him. Nice little dump out route to him and let the athlete do the athlete. And then if he makes that tackle miss, he's still running down Babcock Street.
That's a gain of about 30. And now inside Lake Brantley territory for the first time tonight for the Bulldogs as they make it up to the 40-yard line. And so far for 2 of our big plays, one by each team, it looks like we may be having a track meet out here. We got some fast players for both these teams. And that's going to be on the defense to be able to neutralize that. 1st down and 10, handoff to Brown again. He breaks right up the middle. That's a good gain of 5 on 1st down. You'll take that.
I got to tell you, that offensive line for the Bulldogs, they've got some beef to them, and they're really making some holes for Brown to squirt through. I mean, he's averaging at least 4 or 5 yards a carry already.
That's one of their few returning starters. James Hines, the senior offensive lineman, is one of them.
I believe it's pronounced Hines.
All right.
Like the ketchup.
Good to know. James Hines, one of those returners. Few that Melbourne has, but they do have some good talent returning. Just to say they have a lot of young players doesn't mean they don't have some good ones that are returning. 2nd down and 4 now for Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 34, and that time big hole opens up and it's flooded by Patriot defenders, and that's going to be a loss, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and medium, I'll say, for Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 36.
In Lake Brantley territory.
Yeah, about a 3rd and 6. I'd like to see Brown get to the edge. You've had a lot of success with him coming to the edge, and he showed his speed, and I think he can pick this up on one play. I don't know that you necessarily need to try and air it out.
A lot of substitutions here for Melbourne. They sub in Jordan Pidala was already in the game. He was talking to his coach. Ty Field comes in along with James Nollmeyer, receivers for this play. 3rd down and 6 now for Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 36-yard line. Pidala drops back, surveying, throwing out of the backfield again to Brown. Same play they got a big gain on. He'll go out of bounds, the ball will come out, but that'll be another 1st down for the Melbourne Bulldogs. Is that Pidala and Brown connection strong early on?
Yeah, Brown's putting on a show early on. Like we said, only a sophomore. Looks pretty darn good out there, too.
They're running that wheel route out of the backfield to perfection right now, and I think they got slants or cutting routes in the middle, but it seems like Pidala is very content with just throwing it out to Brown.
Well, they use their number 1 and 2 receiver to occupy the defensive backs and the linebacker over there, and that allows the corner to or the running back to just sneak out there. Nobody over there defending that, and you're going to take that every time.
Solid drive here for Melbourne now. 1st down and 10 at the Lake Brantley 27-yard line. New back there with Pidala this time. 7:41 to go in the first quarter. High snap, give, and trying to cut it upfield. That one not going to go far, still going backwards as Lake Brantley all over it. As that was number 28 on the carry.
Kymorian Johnson, freshman. So they got a young backfield, but he's got some size to him. Might be kind of the thunder to Brown's lightning.
2nd down and 10 coming. Melbourne's offensive line, they've held well for a few plays, but some of these run plays have kind of been swallowed up quickly. So we'll see if Melbourne can dial something up here to get some yards on 2nd down. And 2nd down and 10, Pidala once again in the gun. And he'll drop back looking for that wheel route now, so look the other way to a little bubble screen. Great block setting up, room to run, cutting back, up the field, touchdown Melbourne. Perfect blocks that time, and Deuce Ingram comes up big for the 27-yard Melbourne touchdown from Jordan Pidala. His first touchdown as a Melbourne Bulldog, and the Bulldogs retaliate quickly with a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a tremendous play design there. They kind of have been, working that little slip out with the running back, get everybody's eyes moving that way, but come back underneath with the tunnel screen, and he just had an absolute convoy of offensive linemen leading him into the promised land. And that's Ingram. That's one of the basketball players I said that came over. Both of them, him and Collins, are high-class athletes, and you saw it right there.
And kicking the extra point will be Brady Clark, looking to tie the game up at 7 for Melbourne. No rush. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 6:47 to go in the first quarter, it's tied 7-7 here from Tom McIntyre Stadium.
7-7 with Lake Brantley.
So big plays have been the story so far.
Yeah, almost the opposite of last night's game with Bayside and Sebastian River. Earlier on, that one was more defensive. This one coming out with both these teams kind of firing. And, well, can't say I'm complaining. And that was a good drive out of Melbourne. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainties with this team, but so far they've come out and they've looked good.
I think it was a balanced drive as well. They didn't kind of lean on one thing or the other, and they used the pass when it was going to be to his advantage, but I think it was really nifty play calling as well to really sequence that drive together. It seemed like each play flew into the next one or set the next play up, and that's what you want to see in a play caller.
And it was capped off by the 27-yard touchdown pass from Jordan Pidala to Deuce Ingram. That might be a connection to watch this year. That was just a good, and as you said, the wheel route, they set it up, kind of got them to watch that stronger. They had the bubble screen, but it was really the blocks, I think, were the star of the show on that touchdown, in my opinion. As you just saw, every block out in front of Ingram held perfectly, and that set him up to just run his way into the end zone.
Yeah, perfectly well executed tunnel screen there.
Kickoff there, and Lake Brantley going to start at their own 25-yard line. Their first drive didn't take very long. It was a one-play drive, a 60-yard touchdown run by Parker Perales out of the wing T offense. And, we'll see what happens.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to run some variant of triple option here.
I mean, yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, you've seen one play, and it worked pretty well. So, but now Melbourne, you have a chance to adjust. You've seen what they're going to bring. You've seen how it can be lethal. So now you got to adjust. Now you're back at a tie game, so your offense did their job, and we'll see how their defense can respond. First down and 10, Patriots back in the same formation at their own 25. And now they give it up the middle, and Melbourne's ready for it, and that's going to be a solid gain on first, but a good stop by the Melbourne linebackers.
And that was the same play they ran on the first, the opening play. That's just a simple triple option. The read was to gave to the fullback, and he squirts ahead for 5 yards.
Another officials timeout here with 6:27 to go in the first quarter. Our game tied up 7-7. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors that support the Brevard Sports Network this season. We got Kel Clean, Global Polygraph Analysis, Solutions Property Management, Archaic Design Incorporated, Connect Sports Fundraising, BlackRock Engineering and Tech, Zone 6, Beachway Volleyball Club, Best Private Investigations, and Uberzadi. And also EG Kicks. Now 2nd down and 5 coming up for Lake Brantley at their own 30-yard line after a solid first down run. They're going to run it again up the middle, line pushing him forward, and I think that's going to be a Patriot first down. As a solid run up the middle that time will get them a first down up past their own 35.
Yep, another give on the triple. You can tell that's exactly what they're doing, and I imagine they're reading in-man a line of scrimmage, or they could be going midline and reading the 4 technique there, and yeah, if he crashes, that quarterback's going to pull it and play the pitch. If he stays, then, it's give all day.
First down and 10 now for Lake Brantley at their own 37-yard line. Same formation. Once again out of the Patriots here, under center. And it's going to be a give up the middle. And, you know, Melbourne's on it quick, but it's just that quick burst of speed that every down so far they've been getting about 5 yards or more. So far this attack working really well for Lake Brantley.
Well, the blocking scheme is all about angles, and you'll notice that the offensive line is going to be on their balls or their feet, ready to fire out and take those angles immediately. And, you know, you get on your track on that angle, and all you're really doing is creating a surge, especially if they're just going dive on that. Look at them all. They're all right up on their haunches, ready to roll.
Second down and 5 now for Lake Brantley. Run up the middle and trying to push his way forward. That's going to be close to the line to gain. That's Tavin Hebert.
I think they're going to give it to him, too. Yep.
And that's going to be first down. Lake Brantley now up around the 50-yard line. They're up to their own 47-yard line. And the thing with this attack, unless they have what they did last drive, or the first play touchdown, but these drives can be long drives that take up a lot of time of possession, which later down the line, if you get a lead, that's what you want.
Well, it helps your defense, too, but you're absolutely right. It's methodical. We ran this when I played, and we had a 27-play drive.
There's going to be a run trying to get outside, but Melbourne stuffs it for only a short, little to no gain, as I believe the quarterback kept it that time. And, well, they a little bit more than I thought on that run. They're going to give them 3. It's second down and 7 now from the stripe of the 50-yard line for the Patriots. 4:20 to go in the first quarter, all tied up at 7. As it's second down and 3, Lake Brantley at the 50-yard line. Number 80 in motion. As they're going to give up the middle again, and that's just a good burst of speed there. That's going to get them 5, and that's going to bring up a third down and 2 for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 45 now. And we know this kicker's got range, but they're not in that range yet.
Yeah, Melbourne's trying to kind of supplement this and get a push in the middle. They're going to 2-4 eyes, which is taking the defensive tackle from being head up on the tackle to the inside eye of that offensive tackle, and trying to kind of replicate the wedge that Lake Brantley's using, but hasn't had the success yet.
Third down and 2, Lake Brantley, the Melbourne 45. Handoff right up the middle, and they're going to get the first down and more. The ball comes out, it looks like.
Oh,
Melbourne football!
And that's huge for Melbourne.
A fumble recovery by Melbourne, as it would have been a first down, but the ball comes out and it's a turnover, and the Bulldogs will take over on offense at their own 40.
Yeah, that's a huge break for Melbourne there. That's absolutely what they needed, especially with the way their offense played on that last drive, to get that stop there, because Lake Brantley was absolutely moving the football.
I mean, that had to be a quick strip and recover, because there wasn't even a pile. It was just like quick, ball down, Melbourne's on it, and we switched possessions quickly. And with 3:25 to go in the first quarter, it's Melbourne football at their own 40.
Excellent field position.
Yeah, great field position for Melbourne, looking to take a lead on this drive early
I'd take
on.
a shot right here.
See what Pidala's got. I mean, as I said, in his freshman year, only played 4 games, but he seemed to look solid in those. So far tonight, he's had some good throws.
I'd let one go.
First down and 10 at their own 40. Pidala drops back, looking deep, as you said, into double coverage. That ball is going to go right back to Lake Brantley, as it is intercepted by M.J. Mitchell. And, well, for Melbourne, they got an opportunity, and they give one right back.
I want to recant that I said I would let one go. No, I mean, it was good coverage there. I mean, he's got to eat that one. He's got to either throw that one out of bounds or take off with it. He looks like he might be a pretty good athlete. But that was kind of a cover 4 look, which is what we saw out of Coach Miller in Bayside last night. And when you get 4 deep routes, that's exactly what that's defending. You get a high-low on that one, and underthrown ball.
Official's
defensive back's going to make that play.
That's what I was going to say. You see that sometimes with even younger, older quarterbacks. But you lock on to a guy, you say, hey, that he was looking for Deuce Ingram, who he just threw a touchdown to. So now you're like, I want to that. I agree. It looked like he wanted to throw to Ingram again, and no matter what, when he just really wasn't open at any point in that route.
Yeah, and even if it is a one read, like, hey, look at Ingram. If he's open, throw it. If not, just take off with it. Or maybe they had I didn't see the running back there. Maybe he had a little underneath route as a check down, but ill-advised. But again, only a sophomore. He's going to make those mistakes. He's looked good thus far. And it's a simple mistake. Quarterbacks are going to throw interceptions. It happens.
So Lake Brantley turns the ball over. Now they get it back at their own 30-yard line. And first down and 10 for the Patriots, 3:17 to go in the first quarter. Still tied at 7. Still tight, pitching this time to the outside, trying to get the edge. And it's going to be a solid gain on first down for number 2 on the carry.
That's the first time we've seen him exploit the edge there, and I think they've seen that Melbourne's trying to go kind of more of a tight front, and maybe they can catch him napping on the edge. Good recovery by the Melbourne defense, though, to kind of string that out to the sideline.
Second down and about 7, it looks like, for Lake Brantley at their own 33-yard line. As the quarterback going to keep it this time, pushing it to the far side. Still pushing ahead, and that's going to be a Lake Brantley first down.
Lake Brantley able to pick up a first down.
And that was a solid run there. The quarterback keeps it again that time for the first down.
You know what we haven't seen is the pitch. We've seen a lot of give and a lot of keep. We've not seen the pitch yet.
They pitched the play before that.
No, I mean like on the triple.
That was
triple,
yeah.
That was orbit rocket toss.
Got it. Yep. Yeah, I mean, they're sticking with the run game, and it's been working so far. They had the one fumble. They're sticking to it. First down and 10, Lake Brantley at their own 45. As that run was a gain of about 12. They're going to hand off straight up the middle, powering forward. And that's what I mean. It's just that quick burst. That's a quick 5 yards, and that's a great way to start a drive.
They're favoring the right side, too. They're right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've ran one play to the left quite yet.
No, I don't think they have. But, yeah, I mean, so far that one's actually for 6. So now it's going to be second down and 4 for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 49. As this drive moving a little quicker than their last one that ended in the fumble. They stay tight by the line. Pidala's under center, a lot of movement, fakes the toss, hands off up the middle, breaks a tackle, pushing for the first, and he's going to get it.
That is my favorite play in football. Do you know what that play is called, Jackson? Probably not. It's called Sally, okay? And I'm going to explain Sally very intricately here because we scored a lot of touchdowns in 2011 running Sally. Typically, you do it off belly action. There they fake the sweep. It's just a simple misdirection play, but the play side offensive line is going to open up, and they're going to hinge. And they're going to let the defensive line come forward, and if they do, they wash them upfield. If not, you turn and you go hunt, and that's exactly how they did that.
And now it's first and 10, Lake Brantley from the Melbourne 45. Quarterback keep. Pidala's trying to get the edge. He has blocks. First down, and he's going to get brought down at that first down. That's 10 yards and another first down for Parker Pidala's on the keeper.
That's a simple midline option there. They're reading the in-man or the inside defensive tackle there. You see, typically on the triple, you're going to read the in-man of the line of scrimmage. If he crashes, you keep. If he stays, you give. On midline, you're going interior now. You're reading the interior defensive lineman who isn't used to being read. So oftentimes they're going to crash that, thinking they've got a free play. And the quarterback just keeps that right off of the edge. But that's what you tell your defensive lineman, hey, if it's too easy, something's wrong. You know, you got to read and react.
And that's the fourth official's time out of the first quarter, but I like these officials. They stopped to talk about that when they looked at the spot of the ball. They didn't just make a rash decision. They do confirm that it was a first down. But without review, I mean, they just had to talk to each other and say, hey, are we good on this? And they were. So I like that, making sure they got the right call, and it's first down Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 35.
Pretty clean game so far, too. I think we've only seen the one penalty. It was a false start.
Yeah. Under a minute to go, 35 seconds in the first quarter. Lake Brantley holding it now at the Melbourne 35. Quarterback keeps, hands to the far back, and he's going to go nowhere as Melbourne guesses right on that one, and they bring down number 2 for no gain.
Yeah, you know, Jackson, that was interesting. That was like a play-action run.
Yeah.
They faked the dive and handed it off almost like a lead or a stretch play. Typically you keep pitch relation. I don't know if they lost pitch relation there and he just wanted to give it or what happened there, or if that was designed. It was certainly interesting.
That was the thing. The delayed handoff kind of went in Melbourne's favor as they were kind of ready to pounce on the second guy once they realized the first guy didn't have it.
Ms. Nelson, the only score update we have right now is last we checked it was 2-0. Heritage had gotten a safety on the second play from scrimmage, I believe. O'Galley has not gotten started yet. They have a 7:30 kickoff. So if you guys got scores in the comments, please feel free to drop them in there. We always appreciate that.
At the end of our first quarter play here from Tom McIntyre Stadium, it is 7-7 between Lake Brantley and Melbourne on a pair of big play touchdowns. You had a 60-yard run by Parker Pidala for the Lake Brantley touchdown and a 40-yard or 32-yard pitch and catch from Jordan Pidala to Deuce Ingram for the Bulldogs touchdown. As we'd like to thank our key sponsor once again tonight, the Cart Guys, street legal golf carts for sale in Melbourne, Florida, serving all the Space Coast and beyond. They sell advanced EV, Bintelli, and Kodiak golf carts. They are Brevard County's #1 golf cart supplier. Get approved today and start shopping for the perfect street legal golf cart. They even offer delivery. Give them a call today at 321-914-3877.
Just got an update. Rockledge is 0-0 after the end of the first quarter. No Damien. Heritage is not going to be on live. They are down in Jensen Beach. So I don't know if they have live coverage down there, but we are not going to be covering that one tonight.
As you can see at the bottom of your screen, if you want to be a part of the Brevard Sports Network family, reach out to brevardsportsnetwork@gmail.com or call us at 321-693-7697 if you want an advertisement on the Brevard Sports Network. You want to support BSN. Got a score update. Rockledge 0-0 at the end of the first quarter, I believe, against Carrollwood Day tonight.
It's over in Tampa, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Carrollwood Day?
I believe so, yes. Second down and 10 now for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 35. Get a closer look here or there on our side of the field. Handoff right at the middle. That was a hard hit right through the line by the Melbourne defense, and that's going to bring up third down and long, as it seems like slowly here Melbourne is catching on to what Lake Brantley is doing.
Yeah, good trigger by the linebackers there to kind of come, fill that gap. They're kind of getting sick and tired of dive getting ran on them.
Third down and 7 for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 32. Lake Brantley staying in the same formation here. No matter it's 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 1, they're staying tight. One receiver split wide, as it's been. Man in motion. They give to him. Jet sweep around the edge. There is room. Cut back. He'll slip down for only a gain of 2. And that's going to bring up 4th down now for Lake Brantley.
Yeah, and I think even if he didn't kind of trip up there on the turf, the corner there was kind of ready for him to make the tackle.
Yeah, he did stumble there for a moment, but still probably would have been covered well by Melbourne there. It's only a gain of 2. 4th down and 5 for Lake Brantley, as it doesn't look like they're bringing the kicking unit out. This is specifically where they were practicing in warm-ups, so I'm a little surprised to not see it, but it is a spring game, and you don't really, I guess, have to be kicking field goals. Offense can stay out there. 4th down and 5 for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 30. Quarterback rolls out right for the first time, looking to throw, airs one out, wide open, it's caught down to the 5-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 25 yards. 1st down and goal, Lake Brantley.
Yeah, and, kind of predictable that they might have run a play-action pass there on 3rd down, but it was their first passing play, and the flag route did pop open. Just a nice, simple waggle.
As that was number 80 on the reception for Lake Brantley. 1st down and goal at the 5 for the Patriots now, as they bring out a pass for the first time, and it works to perfection. As now they'll go back, same formation. As going to run it. Pushing him into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots. From 5 yards out, it's number 3 on the carry.
Yeah, and that was just a nice, simple midi. They've been running it all down the field. Nice slow mesh with the quarterback and the fullback or A-back relation there. And, they could have held on to it together all the way into the end zone on that.
And it's a 5-yard touchdown run for the Patriots to jump back in front with 10:02 to go in the second quarter, as they look to convert on the extra point to go up by 7.
To answer the question in the stream, there is a separate live that's going to be airing the O'Galley game. It should be getting started right about now.
Sorry, that extra point is no good. I don't know if it came off wrong or if it clipped an offensive lineman, but it came out wobbly and it came out wide left, so no good. But Lake Brantley still jumps ahead 13-7. As it looks like MCC game will be delayed until about 8 o'clock, as Atlantic has had some transportation issues. So that'll be an interesting game. MCC starting that new chapter we've been talking about this offseason, and they kick it off with a spring game tonight against Atlantic.
Which Atlantic are they playing? The one in Volusia or the one down South Florida? Port Orange.
As Lake Brantley getting set to kick it away. Now, number 3 was a touchdown carry. Don't have his name on the roster Would love to give the shout out there. So if anyone from Lake Brantley knows who number 3 is on the Patriots, would love to know and give credit to him on the score. But for now, we don't have a name to the number, as they will get set to kick off. That'll be number 40 again, Emilio Bacardi, as he gets set to kick off here. Good kick end over end by Bacardi, going to get down to the 10-yard line, and Melbourne will take it up to the 25 and take a knee. And that's where they'll start yet another drive, as their last drive was one play with an interception. So this drive, their last full drive was a touchdown. So we'll see if Melbourne can replicate that on this drive to tie this game back up.
And if they can, I think that that missed extra point on the last drive is kind of an important factor to keep in mind if Melbourne can get it going offensively again like they did on their second drive.
Yeah, definitely. That could be something to come back to haunt Lake Brantley, but, I mean, we'll see. Still early on in the second quarter.
We got a score update. Carrollwood Day is up on Rockledge 7-0.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Remember in week 2, Rockledge is going to Texas. That's going to be a solid run, but a hard way down for the back there, number 3. That was E.J. Brown. It's going to be a gain of 4.
Yeah, he fought for those yardage, and his leg kind of got up underneath him. It looked nasty, but he popped right up. He looks to be all right.
It's a gain of 6, or a gain of 4 for second down and 6 now for Melbourne at their own 29-yard line.
Number 3 for Lake Brantley is Alex Katana. So shout out Alex for that touchdown run. Very hard-fought run. Way to go, kid.
So Katana with the touchdown run most recently for Lake Brantley to put them ahead.
Thank you, Miss Eager.
As Pidala throwing over the middle into double coverage. He had him there.
The Melbourne faithful wants a pass interference, and I got to say I agree with them. It was double coverage, don't get me wrong, but the inside receiver was the inside defender was draped all over him.
We'll see the officials come to talk about it here, and incomplete pass there is going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 as he was looking for Ty Field.
Oh, and they do get it. They do get it, and I think that's the correct call.
It's going to be a defensive holding, so now it's going to be 1st down Melbourne. And, again, I like what the officials are doing tonight. They're taking a second after some of these plays and convening, making the call. I mean, you want to see some of these made in the moment, but if you get it right at the end of the day, then, so be it. O'Galley takes the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. 7-0 Commodores up over the Titusville Terriers.
Yeah, and that game just got going. We do have a stream for that on the Brevard Sports Network page.
Play fake Pidala read option. He'll slide there. No gain.
I don't know if he meant to slide there or if he slipped up. That field turf is pretty slick right now.
I was going to say
it rained earlier.
Yeah, it raining. I mean, this turf is wet. That's for sure.
How about the weather, though? I mean, it rained, down in South Palm Bay, and the weather was just fine afterwards. It rained down here. It's not too bad right now, to be honest with you.
No. So far, we're all good. No delays yet in this one. 8.5 minutes to go in the first half still. 2nd down and 9 now for Melbourne at their own 40. As trips near side, one receiver far with the one back with Pidala in the backfield. Pidala drops back, rolling out, throwing. Ooh, that was dangerous in that one.
They're going to call it incomplete. That's the same play that they scored on earlier. And
no,
Lake
I
Brantley
think they called it.
No, they called it incomplete.
Okay.
Lake Brantley had that one snuffed out that time.
Yeah, that one a little quick pass to the outside. That one was dangerous. There was defenders all over the place. And that's another thing. It looked like, again, Pidala maybe was looking for a specific receiver. And, when he was still covered, the ball was still thrown. So you got to be able to, make a play on the ball there if there's nobody open.
Well, that's the design. I mean, it was a tunnel screen, but, I mean, you'd rather him see it throw it in the dirt at the receiver's feet if that's the case.
3rd and 9, trips near side, throwing out route high, and it's going to be incomplete, looking for Deuce Ingram as he was open, cutting out to the sideline, but it's going to be incomplete. Melbourne's going to be forced to punt on 4th and 9. There's a Patriot down on the play here, so we'll get an injury timeout here with 8:16 to go in the first half, 13-7. Lake Brantley leads. Once again, I'd like to thank our wide range of sponsors: Kel Clean, Global Polygraph Analysis, Solutions Property Management, Archaic Design, Connect Sports Fundraising, BlackRock Engineering and Technology, Zone 6 and the Zone 6 Reapers, EG Kicks, Beachway Volleyball Club, Best Private Investigations, Uberzadi, and tonight's head sponsor, the Cart Guys. So we thank all of them for their continued support of the Brevard Sports Network, and the Cart Guys specifically for stepping up to sponsor tonight's game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that four-seater they got down there, that cart down there, that's a slick-looking golf cart. I'd like to take that out on the course, to be honest with you.
I've seen a wide range of, spectators here I've seen a lot of different shirts from a lot of different schools out here watching this game tonight. I've seen some Satellite, seen some Cocoa, seen a lot of guys from, I guess, teams that have already played. And
well, Friday Night Lights are back. It's in the air, and whatever game you can get in, I assume you just go do it. That's why we're blessed to be able to do what we do.
I believe I saw earlier Brady Hart, former Melbourne quarterback, starter this year over at Cocoa. We saw for a little bit last night. And coming out of the injury timeout, now it'll be fourth down, fourth and long, so it will be a punting scenario for Brady Clark.
Shout out my beautiful wife, Carly, for tuning into the stream tonight.
Short rushing touchdown for Heritage by Benson. 2-point conversion fails. Heritage is up 8-0 now over Jensen Beach.
That's a good decision to go for two in that situation. Give yourself a 10-point lead as opposed to the 9. I like that decision. You still got 8, so.
And now, Lake Brantley going to take over now at their own 30-yard line following the punt here with 8 minutes to go in the first half. They have the 6-point lead, missed the extra point. This could be a big drive to go up by 2 scores now for Lake Brantley. They know the passing game might have something there now as well, as that is where they got a big 20-yard gain on a fourth down play.
They're not going to pass unless they absolutely have to.
Well, they throw the ball.
No,
that's a screen,
that's
bobbled,
still
incomplete.
That's a
short.
fumble. That was behind the line of scrimmage. That was still the triple option. That wasn't a pass, and I'll stand by it.
No, I still think if they pass, it'll only be out of that formation.
Oh, I think that's one of the few formations they have, and it's working. So I mean, I wouldn't get away from it.
Targeting number 2 there is incomplete. Again, we have a roster for Lake Brantley. It is not complete. It has a good amount of players, but not all of them. So again, if there's any numbers that I say and there's no name with it, if anyone could provide, that'd be great. Second down and 10 for Lake Brantley at their own 30-yard line. As Perala's under center, man in motion out back, handoff straight up the middle, and Melbourne going to push him back, and only for a short gain. And that'll make it third down and long for the Patriots.
Patriots facing a 3rd and 5.
Now we'll see Lake Brantley's offensive coordinator go into his bag of tricks. They've stayed ahead of the chains for the majority of their drives. In fact, most of their, or if not all of their drives. And that's what running this offense does. You stay ahead of schedule. You don't get yourself in a 3rd and long situation. You got a 3rd and medium here. With the way they've been running their ball, I wouldn't be surprised if they, continue to do that, or if they're going to maybe try and pass.
There's a flag down. A lot of commotion going on here at Melbourne.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
No idea what's going on. First down and 10 for Lake Brantley now at their own 40. Handoff right up the middle. There's a good hole opened up by the offensive line. That's going to be a gain of about 9. That's going to bring up second down and 1.
Rumblings in the crowd as there was a scuffle going on behind the stadium here.
Everyone was rushing over there like there's a celebrity. I was like, what's going on? Second down and 2 now for Lake Brantley. Miss Stephanie, that would be amazing with the names provided, because we love to give the credit to all the student athletes. Run right up the middle, first down, Lake Brantley on that one. But yeah, the roster that we have did not know until now, but it is not fully complete with every player. As that was a run up the middle by Lake Brantley for a first down, now to the Melbourne 48-yard line.
Patriots able to pick up a first down, and it's an official timeout on the field.
Another official timeout here with 6:23 to go in the half. It's 13-7, Lake Brantley with the lead.
How else is everybody going to see it?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Brevard Sports Network. First down and 10 for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 48-yard line. Same formation, handoff right up the middle. Good carry, pushing towards the first down. And that's a good 9 or 10 yards, looking like 9 on first down for Lake Brantley. On the carry was number 4, Taven Hebert. And that's going to bring up second down and 1 now for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 39-yard line, rather.
Audrey, last we checked, it was 7-0 O'Galley. We do have a stream up on the Facebook page that is broadcasting that game, though.
Pitch to the near side. That's going to be a first down and a little more now for Lake Brantley by number 2.
Ball squirted out at the end, but I do think the ball carrier was down.
Number 2 again on the carry. And it's going to be a first down on the little pitch there. 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Solid run there, and Lake Brantley going to keep the chains moving. Once again with the methodical drives, but it's working. So first down and 10. Lake Brantley, the Melbourne 33. And yeah, you talk about that O'Galley score. I think what we saw, it was the opening kickoff that got taken to the house for O'Galley. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, immediately hit, but the quarterback still has it. I'm looking at the wrong guy. Good fake, and it's a keeper with Paralis.
And that's that slow mesh that they worked on on the touchdown play. They worked that slow mesh. You know, you see Wake Forest really work that. They have where they almost creep towards the line of scrimmage together, and then at the very last minute, he's either going to give or he's going to pull it. And that time he pulled, picked up a pretty good gain.
Second down and 2 now for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 25s. This long drive getting deeper and deeper into Bulldog territory.
Stephanie, that's quite all right. We appreciate the help here. If we just say a number and you happen to know it, if you could pop it into the comments, and we'll relay the information that way. Thank you so much.
Second down and 2. Play fake rolling left. He's got space.
He's wide open.
Oh,
wow.
Big hit. Ball comes out. Melbourne's going to scoop it, drops it. Melbourne picks it up. Green to run, and the Melbourne Bulldogs scoop and score. Touchdown, Melbourne. No flags, and that's going to be a 50-yard Melbourne touchdown. Kiani Collins with a scoop and score, and Melbourne with a shot to take the lead.
I believe that was number 8 there, Noah McNair, that delivered the boom on that one. Absolutely leveled the quarterback, and he had a man wide the heck open going towards the sidelines. That would have picked up a very good gain. Heck of a defensive effort for the scoop and score.
Yeah,
that's a football player right there.
Paralis got drilled there. It looked like he was a little indecisive. I mean, he had room to run if he wanted to. He had a wide open pass. Both options were good, but he kind of sat in the middle of both, sat there, and he got absolutely drilled by McNair, scooped up by Collins, and then it was all green for the man in green to go to the house. And now with this extra point, Melbourne could take the lead with Brady Clark. For the lead, Clark. Kick is up. It is good. And for the first time tonight, with 4:14 to go in the second quarter, Melbourne takes a 14-13 lead. Well, that was unexpected, but for Melbourne, you will take it And that was an incredible play defensively by the Bulldogs that now ends up getting them the lead.
Yeah, as a defensive guy, you absolutely love to see a play like that, especially one to start taking the lead here. And maybe that provides a little bit of a spark for that offense, too.
Yeah, that was just a strong play. McNair never wavered off the ball there and took it straight in to lay the hit. And, I mean, they're lucky that they got that second scoop there because, you know, the first man on the ball, whoever that was for Melbourne, kind of bobbled it. It was still down, and then they scoop it up with Kintigh Collins and takes it all the way.
Well, Jackson, there's nothing that'll make you look more unathletic than trying to pick up a loose football.
Especially on the run. And you got to, and because the goal there, which worked out, but taking it to the house.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge play, shifting momentum here. See if the defense gets themselves hyped up.
I mean, we've seen some big drives. Most drives for Lake Brantley have been successful to a degree, but that's their second turnover now. And, you know, ending some drives both in Melbourne territory when the turnovers happened and both fumbles. As we get another score update. Same score for Carrollwood Day and Rockledge, but now we're into the second quarter. Carrollwood Day holds the 7-0 lead. As kickoff's going to be held. Which is kind of interesting. I don't know if they don't have a tee or if the tee's not good because it isn't windy at all down here.
We got a score update for Vieira. So reporting 27-12 over Seabreeze right now. Vieira up 27-12.
I think that's a jamboree that they have down there with Merritt Island as well.
Okay.
So they're playing, I think, multiple games tonight. That's why that score, I'm assuming, may have started earlier. But Vieira is a team I'm very interested in this season. They had a very promising spring game with that win over Bayside. And, you know, coming off that unfortunate winless season last year, now with Shane Staples' second season, and look for guys like Cromartie and Pillow to kind of mature a little, step into their role. And I think Vieira could have a good turnaround season, maybe like Titusville did last year.
Well, it was the Cromartie Pillow show when we did their spring game. I mean, me and Caleb can talk about it as well. But, I mean, you know, threw for 400-something yards, I believe, in that game, and most of them went towards Pillow. So that's going to be a good connection for them all season.
Again, we appreciate all the score updates in the chat. If you get any, send them our way, and we'll give a report as we got whistles on the field. Timeout number 1 for Melbourne tonight with 4:05 to go in the second quarter. Melbourne leading it 14-13. And we said that missed extra point could make an impact, and we're already seeing that here with Melbourne taking the lead.
Yeah, you got to imagine if Lake Brantley does go down there and score again, they might go for 2 to try and, you know, catch that back up.
And honestly, I like their chances that they do just because of how powerful that run's been. You put them 2 yards out, I don't see why not.
Yeah, you just go to that midline play, and, you know, you're going to pick up the 3 or 4 that you need to get into the end zone on that.
But they got to get there first.
Got to get down there. And you know what? I dare I say it, I do believe they might have gotten a little too cute on that last drive. And, you know, I'm going to sound like an old head because too cute is throwing a play-action pass. But, I mean, heck, when you're picking up the yardage you're getting just running the football, it was a second and short situation. You know, he would have had a big gain had he completed the pass, but, you know, run your offense in that instance.
We get a score update from Holy Trinity. John Carroll Catholic leading 7-3. And for the question in chat, Kintigh Collins was the one with the scoop and score for Melbourne. There's a good run up the middle by Lake Brantley. That's going to be a first down and 10 on the carry by number, I don't know.
Looked like 3.
Number 3 is Alex Katana. As first down and 10 for Lake Brantley now at their own 36. Melbourne got to get set defensively.
Yeah, they're bringing a safety into the
box. Snap, handoff right up the middle. And Melbourne's there all over Katana that time for a short gain. 3.5 minutes to go in the half now.
Yeah, they've started to roll to cover 3, and they're bringing an extra safety in the box, and now you've got an 8-man box against that triple option, which isn't a bad idea there. And the safety came up and made the play. That was Kevin Thorpe, son of Melbourne legend Tracy Thorpe, getting some action tonight, playing that safety position.
Second down and 8. Hand off, and that one's going backwards now as Melbourne making a big play defensively for a loss. It's number 99.
It's big Landon Malady.
Malady with a big play there. That's going to be a loss of 2. Third down and 10 for Lake Brantley at their own 36. And we'll see what they do now with under 3 minutes to go in the half. If they go back to the pass after the last play that they tried went for a scoop and score, or if we see them stick to the run and hope they can get 10 here.
How about the old cowboy collar on Malady? You don't see those every day. Him and middle linebacker Johnny Wright's got one. You got to like that.
I always remember, especially in the NFL, you see guys with those collars, and they know they're a hard hitter.
Absolutely.
Rolling out right, blitz coming hard, jumping up in there. He's got to commit to something. Ball comes out again, scooped up by Malady. First down, Melbourne inside the Lake Brantley 30 as a third fumble of the first half by the Patriots going to Melbourne.
Huge turnover once again, and that's again, like we talked about on the last pass, the indecisiveness there.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, just let it go out of bounds and punt.
I was going to say Perales looked like he had no idea what he was doing out there. He's rolling out right. Sideline's coming up quick. Defenders are coming up quick. It didn't look like he wanted to throw anywhere. Couldn't run the ball, and that's going to result in another fumble. As we get a score update, another safety in the Heritage Jensen Beach game. It's in favor of Jensen Beach this time. Intentional grounding in the end zone by the Panthers. 8-2, they lead.
Scoregami.
Yeah. First down and 10, Melbourne now at the Lake Brantley 30 in great position late in the first half. Handoff up the middle, cutting up field. That one's going to go for a yard or two for E.J. Brown. As the field lighting up here, it seems like more by the sunset behind us.
Yeah, got the hospital all lit up.
It's going to bring up second down and 10 as they give him no gain there at the Lake Brantley 30. Under 2 minutes to go in the half.
What a testament to bounce back by the Melbourne defense so far. I mean, 3 turnovers already in the first half, and
they look strong.
6 points by the defense as well.
Handoff up the middle by Brown, and he's going to get a yard or two, but Lake Brantley responding well this drive. And I would say they're a little bit out of field goal range here, so Melbourne probably in 4-down territory here on 3rd and 9. Late in the first half, a minute and a half to go. They still have 2 timeouts to go in the half. As they bring it on number 88 for this play. That is Darren Colpetzer.
3rd down for the Bulldogs.
Third down and 9 coming up for Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 29. We're going to have Melbourne with their second time out of the half ahead of this big third down. Under a minute to go now. We got 54 seconds. Once again, I'd like to thank our head sponsor of the night, the Cart Guys. Street legal golf carts for sale in Melbourne, Florida, serving all the Space Coast and beyond. They sell advanced EV, Bentelli, and Kodiak golf carts. They are Brevard County's #1 golf cart supplier. Get approved today and start shopping for the perfect street legal golf cart. They even offer delivery. Give them a call today at 321-914-3877. So we got a great game here in the first half. 14-13 Melbourne on top of Lake Brantley thanks to a 65-yard scoop and score from Keani Collins. And don't go anywhere at halftime. We will be showing the band's performance here at Melbourne, so don't go too far at half. Maybe get some snacks and come back. 3rd down and 9. They're going to turn, give to the near side, and he's going to get dragged down for a loss.
Oh, and he's lucky he went down when he did because 12 was coming in like a heat-seeking missile there.
And that's going to be a loss of about 3. It's going to be 4th down or a loss of 2. 4th and 11 now for Melbourne. At the Lake Brantley 31. I mean, this isn't field goal range, but I don't think you're going to punt from here. I think Melbourne's going to be going for it here.
Yeah, you absolutely go for it here. But here's the thing, and this is a common mistake that happens a lot here. You don't need to go to the end zone here.
No.
You need to pick up 11 yards.
They have 1 timeout left.
Yeah, so you don't need to send 2 streaks into the end zone here. Just pick up the 11. You got 32 seconds left. You pick up the first down, the clock stops, and you still have a timeout in your back pocket. You get the first down, you're certainly in field goal range, you would think.
So it's going to be 4th down and 11 coming up for Melbourne. Lake Brantley takes their first timeout of the half in a 1-point game. And this one's been fun to watch so far. I got to be honest, both these teams showing a lot offensively, both showing a lot defensively, especially Melbourne standing out with those 3 fumble recoveries in the first half. 2 of those, I mean, they're getting to the quarterback. Whenever they're choosing to pass, either it's a pressure or mainly just because because they run the ball more, but quarterback-wise, they've been able to get to him and pressure him into fumbles fairly easily these last 2 drives.
Well, Panucci runs an aggressive defense too, and that's simply what happens when you're a run-heavy team too. You get off script and you're behind the chains. I mean, you're not necessarily designed for drop-back passing.
4th down and 11 here for Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 31-yard line. Drop back, going deep, one-on-one. That one's going to be, it's caught, but he's out of bounds, I believe, unless he dragged a foot. No, it's going to be out of bounds at around the 1-yard line. Tough break there. It's a solid ball by Pidala to Ingram.
And that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, you don't need to send a guy in the end zone there. You need to pick up 11 yards.
And now it's going to be a turnover on downs with 31 seconds to go in the half. Lake Brantley has 2 timeouts and a good kicker. This could be a shot to take the lead before half if you're the Patriots as they start at their own 30-yard line. But the thing is for Lake Brantley, while that run game is effective, when you're trying to score quickly, it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some kind of misdirection here. Or, you know what, just get the clock running and go into the half. You're only down 1. You've ran the ball pretty effectively for the majority of the game.
Here's what I'll say for Lake Brantley. Do not try and pass the ball. It's the last – if trying to turn it downfield, the last 2 times has been an easy fumble. Work on that at halftime, but don't try and pass it now. They're going to hold on to it, running to the outside, cutting up field, still pushing towards the line to gain, trying to get out of bounds. And clock will stop here.
Out of bounds.
So he did get out of bounds. It's going to be 2nd and short for Lake Brantley in the run by Paralis. 22 seconds to go in the half.
And you know, we've seen Lake Brantley has big play running capability. I mean, they scored on a 75-yard run on the first play of the game. So, or their first play of the game, rather.
2nd down and 3 now for Lake Brantley at their own 38. 22 seconds to go. 2 timeouts left for the Patriots. And again, they do have a solid kicker, so we'll see if they looking for a field goal here, or if they go for it all. They are going to try and pass it here. He's got to make a decision. He does get the ball out. It's tipped incomplete. An absolute laying the boom there by Kintigh Collins after the hit.
Yeah, defensive end made a good play there to fight through the block and apply that pressure. And, I mean, even if he would have completed that ball, the poor receiver would have got drilled there. I mean, you know, we've said it. The pass rush has looked really good when they've gotten the opportunity, and the secondary has also looked pretty darn good when they've gotten the opportunity as well.
Well, that time at least Lake Brantley gets rid of the football. Carewood Day jumps out ahead of Rockledge 14-0. As Rockledge is on the road, I believe.
No, it's in Rockledge.
Oh, okay. Handoff right up the middle, big space. And that's going to be a 1st down Lake Brantley into Melbourne territory. 10 seconds to go when the clock stops. That was number 4 on the run, Tavin Hebert.
Lake Brantley's going to take a timeout.
And again, we were watching in warm-ups. The kicker was hitting them from about 40, which is setting up at the 30-yard line.
I don't know how much of a difference playing on that slick turf is going to make, though. I mean, that's warm-ups. You know, you're kicking off of just like a kickoff tee. You know, we've seen him slip a couple times on the kickoff,
He missed that extra point wide left, and it was a wobbler.
Yeah, so it's something to keep in mind. I mean, yeah, that's the whole reason they're down right now. I mean, they missed that extra point. Now, that doesn't mean he can't come back and just absolutely drill one, because we watched him drill 40, 45-yarders in pregame like it was routine. So
10 seconds to go in the half. The thing is they have 1 timeout left. So the thing is he's kicking 30 yards off a tee, but that means they got to get to somewhere in the range of around the 20-yard line or just inside of it in this play and then call a timeout. So it's easier said than done for Lake Brantley, especially when, you know, again, they have the big play threat, but just on a specific play call, not necessarily.
Yeah, I imagine they're feeling comfortable around the 20, 22-yard line would probably be where they're the most, you know, that target range.
10 seconds to go in the half. 1 timeout to go for Lake Brantley. It's 1st and 10 at the Melbourne 44. They're going to drop back to pass here. Blitz starting to come, airing it out. Good spiral, triple coverage, tipped around, incomplete. 3 seconds will stay on the clock for the last play here. And I would say for Lake Brantley, either throw a Hail Mary or let the clock run out here on this one, as that was their big shot, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, Melbourne was playing with 3 deep safeties there, or just like a deeper cover 3, where they just dropped everybody back. And, I mean, they didn't really bring the rush, but still Randall Robinson, Frappe, was able to come off the edge and fight off a block and kind of speed up that throw.
As Lake Brantley will take their last time out of the half with 3 seconds to go. Still at the same spot, 2nd and 10 at the Melbourne 44 coming up. That was a good looking pass, though. Good spiral, but triple coverage is going to be quite the feat if you fit it in there.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's interesting. At the end of the games or end of halves when they, throw one deep and it always ends up getting knocked down somehow. You got so many guys going up and getting it that it's hardly ever is anybody able to actually retain possession of the football in that.
And that's where you get those kind of tip drills that you kind of practice.
Yeah, and I mean, in that circumstance, I don't mind throwing into triple coverage right there because, on the off chance you catch it, you're either at the 2-yard line or you're in the end zone. If they intercept it, I mean, they're going to go down immediately.
And they had a timeout.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not going to go 90-something yards if they intercept it in 3 seconds, you would think.
Here they go, 2nd down and 10 at the Melbourne 44. Once again, 3 seconds to go. They're going to fake the give. Blitz coming hard, throws it, screen over the head. And that's going to do it for the first half here for Melbourne. It's a great game so far, and thanks to a missed extra point, Melbourne has a 14-13 lead over Lake Brantley. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the Melbourne Bulldogs band out here having a performance at halftime.
and gentlemen, your pride of Melbourne.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
So another round of applause for the pride of Mel High.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2
There are 8 minutes till the start of the second half. Plenty of time to visit the concession.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Brevard Sports Network here for the start of second half action. Again, we apologize for the weird audio during halftime, but should be back in sounding good for the second half. Melbourne with a 14-13 lead thanks to a 30-yard pass from Jordan Pidala to Deuce Ingram, and then the scoop and score by Kintigh Collins, 65 yards, and then a missed extra point by Lake Brantley has them ahead by 1, and Lake Brantley will start with the ball in the second half, as they will kick off, but we've seen in this game no live special teams, so Lake Brantley going to start at the 25 as long as it gets to at least there.
Yeah, and I think if you're Lake Brantley, you just got to come back out here and run your offense. Pass rush was there, secondary was there when they tried to drop back. I know you get bounced off schedule. You kind of feel like you got to go back there and pass, but I was kind of thinking, all right, say you're in a 3rd and 8, the way you've been running the ball, you have a good chance of making that 4th and 2. And again, the way you've been running the ball, you might as well just go for it on 4th. So I would continue to do what's gotten them the 13 points that they have.
And the kickoff gets there, and it'll be 1st and 10 Lake Brantley at their own 25. And I was talking to Caleb during halftime, and it seems like for Lake Brantley, they got to trust those longer drives. They got to trust that offense, but more of the running the ball. Things started falling Melbourne's way. The cards started falling. Once they started leaning to the pass, that's where 2 of their 3 fumbles came from. And, they haven't completed very many passes either. I think only 1, if any. So I think they just got to be able to be patient, take the long drives, and let the run game speak for itself.
Yeah, and Melbourne's defense really bowed up after that scoop and score as well. They didn't really give up as many yards off the clip as they were doing as well. And we've seen some explosiveness out of the Melbourne offense. I think the key for them is just to find that explosiveness again.
Handoff up the middle, right side. Oh, he breaks through! 2 men to beat. He'll be brought down, but a big burst of speed, and that's going to be a gain of 20 out of number 2. That we don't have a name for, but that's a big run as he squirts through the first line of defenders, and that's going to be a gain of 20. 1st down and 10, Lake Brantley at their own 45.
Caleb, I think that was that fake dive, and then they hand it off again because I had me fooled. The fullback did not get the ball, the up back. That was 100% one of the B or C back.
As they're going to run it again. Right up the middle, carrying defenders. That's going to be another Lake Brantley 1st down in Melbourne territory. First down and 10. Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 43-yard line. Is a hot start to the second half, all running the ball.
Yep, and just a steady dose of what they did. See, they got away from this towards the end of the half, but they're starting to trade their tight end a little bit too.
Handoff right up the middle again, and he's going to carry forward. He's going to get pulled back, but that's still a good gain of 5 off the rip for Lake Brantley.
Yeah, so what they saw what Melbourne was doing when they started trading their tight end, and that's the way that they were rolling their cover 3 to the look that tight end is in. And so now they're starting to trade him, and they did that earlier in the game, which is, all right, you start here, we're going to roll our cover 3 down, we're going to bring our safety down to the side of that tight end. All right, well, we'll just move him to the other side then, and now you're either going to get caught in the middle of that or you're just going to have to hold on to it.
2nd down and 5 now for Lake Brantley. Handoff right up the middle. Carries the pile forward for a gain of about 7. That's going to be a 1st down.
And it looks like Melbourne's countered that tight end trade by going to a cover 4 look, which we saw a steady dose of last night. That brings your safeties more into the run support while still playing a 2-high shell. And I think that's the smart idea here because you're not going to see very many passes, so you can bring those secondary players in as close as you want at this point.
Thank you, Miss Stephanie. So roster update number 2 for Lake Brantley we've seen multiple times tonight is Tristan Roth. He's got a Melbourne player rolling down here on the near side as they were getting lined up.
Yeah, I think he was trying to come off the field, and they told him, yeah, just go down.
That's Kintigh Collins down on the play.
Got rolled up on in the pile, yeah, so we hope he's all right.
That's a tough one. He had that scoop and score touchdown for Melbourne earlier on tonight.
Yeah, and like I said, that's one of the 2 basketball players that came out, and I had the privilege of calling some Melbourne basketball games this year, and Collins, Ingram played a little bit more than Collins did, but when Collins did go into the game, he made the most of it. Kind of a swing guard type player, slasher. Collins a little bit more rhythm, Deuce Ingram a little bit more rhythm to his game, more like smooth jazz. He's very silky with it. But they can both leap out of the building as well. I've seen them both go up and dunk it in pregame, and heck of an athletes, and that's an asset to have, especially at the wide receiver and defensive back position where you can put your best athletes.
Yeah, those 2 touchdowns you've seen tonight for Melbourne, one by Kintigh Collins, one by Deuce Ingram. So you see him making an impact already. I've seen another Melbourne basketball player in the stream a few times tonight, Kyler Jacinthe, so supporting. And yeah, I mean, that's a good move. I mean, if you got to fill some spots, basketball players, they're athletes, and they come out here and play some football, and they're showing out in their first game of the season here as we see Collins get off the field here with a little bit of help.
Each one scored on a different side of the ball, too, so that kind of speaks to the versatility that they provide to this team.
As it is going to be first down and 10 for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 30. Here on the opening drive of the second half, handoff right up the middle, and he's going to go down quickly that time. But that's still, it's most of that initial burst because Melbourne hits them pretty quick, but that burst of acceleration pushes them forward for a good 4 yards there. And that's going to bring up second down and 6 for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 26.
Well, you got, 80% of your offensive line is in that wall. So, and you got a big, meaty offensive line like they do. They're just going to, kind of wall that off, and you're just going to fall forward. It's the principle that you use when you run quarterback wedge on the goal line.
Second down and 6. And whistle's flagged down, and this is going to be a false start, I think, or something on Lake Brantley. This will be their first flag of the entire game, I believe. A false start on the Patriots. That's going to back them up for second and 11. That could be a drive killer. We'll see.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's still second down. I mean, they have an opportunity to make this back up. And, again, the way they've been running the football, I mean, I think you just take what you can get here.
Second down and 11 now for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 31-yard line. It's going to be a keeper here with the quarterback, Paralis, pushing forward, Melbourne pushing back. That's going to be a short gain. That'll set them up for third manageable. They're around their field goal range here with their kicker, so we'll see if they go for it on fourth if they get there, but we got to get through third down first. We got another Melbourne player down. I think he's just slow to get up. He's, nope. More pain when he tried to stand up, so we're going to have a player down for Melbourne. Timeout with 9:08 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and a steady dose of the same for Lake Brantley of what they were doing in the first half, but let's see how they adjust to this, a third and kind of longer situation. It wasn't really that's kind of what really had been their Achilles heel in the first, and this is where Melbourne stepped up and made big plays is in situations like this. So kind of an interesting case study here to see, if Melbourne's going to continue that momentum on big third down stops, making turnovers, or if Lake Brantley's going to get over that hump and maybe convert one of these.
It's going to be a third down and 7 coming up. And I think even with 7 yards, if I'm Lake Brantley, I stick to the run.
I don't think you need to get all 7 here.
No, I don't think you do either. I think you can go for it. You have options. If you're leaning field goal, you can definitely kick it from here or closer, obviously. I think the passing game is good to interject at some points, but I just think most of their mistakes and most of the plays that Melbourne's been able to take from them have been due to the passing plays one way or another. So I think for now, until the run game completely goes flat, I think you stick with it here on third down.
Yeah, you go with your bread and butter here and then kind of base your decision on fourth down, what you're going to do off of that.
Third down and 7 for Lake Brantley at the Melbourne 27. Man in motion behind. They give the toss, and he's got blockers in front. That's going to be a first down for Lake Brantley. That's going to be a gain of 11, and, well, they spice it up a little bit, but they stick with the run game and a little near side toss for a Lake Brantley first down. Another Melbourne Bulldog down on the field.
Yeah, I said, so let that play judge what you do on fourth down, or just go ahead and get the first down. That works too.
As that was a good toss to the near side. I believe that was number 6, if I'm not mistaken, which also don't have on my roster, unfortunately. But it's a good play there to the near side for a gain of 11. We have another Melbourne Bulldog down 9 minutes to go in the third. Welcome back, everybody. Here's a Melbourne player being helped off the field here. It's going to be 1st down and 10 coming up for Lake Brantley in the cart, guys. Red zone at the Melbourne 16-yard line here on the opening drive of the second half. Just over 4 minutes gone here on this drive as Lake Brantley going all run so far, and it's working well as they're looking to take the lead back here. Number 6, thanks for the comments, and that is Kenneth Willits was on the toss there for the 1st down.
Big shout out to the Lake Brantley faithful in the comments, keeping us up to date there.
Handoff right at the middle to Heberts, and that's going to be little to no gain there. Good play by the Melbourne defensive front.
That's about a 3-4 yard gain, and it looked like there might have been a bobble with the handoff there. It seemed like it didn't go off cleanly, and they were still able to pick up good 3 yards. And that's exactly what they want to do, is 3 yard in a cloud of dust offense, the old Georgia Tech offense.
Our 2 score updates, we got a halftime. John Carroll up over Holy Trinity 14-3, and Carrollwood Day up over Rockledge 18-0. 2nd down and about 6 now. Handoff right up the middle. The quick surge going to get him inside the 10, but no farther now for Lake Brantley. But that's pretty close to the 1st down. That's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 2, it looks like, at the Melbourne 9-yard line.
I think the keep might have been the play on that one. Offensive line kind of collapsed the edge, and if he would have pulled that, he might have scored.
Under 8 minutes to go now in the 3rd quarter. Still in the opening drive of the half now for Lake Brantley. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 at the Melbourne 9. Handoff, keeper, Perales bouncing it outside. Touchdown, Lake Brantley from 9 yards out. For the 2nd time tonight, it's Parker Perales. Keeps it that time, just like you said, Logan. Gets a clear lane to the outside, and that's a touchdown to put the Patriots ahead.
Yeah, maintained good pitch relationship, too, there. That there was nobody really defending the quarterback, so he was able to just take it on in. No need for the pitch. We haven't really seen the true triple yet. We haven't seen the, keep the pitch relation and somebody come crash down on the quarterback and he can pitch it out.
I've seen it set up a few times, but not
they've
really
ran
looking for it.
They've ran it. They just haven't had any need to actually pitch
and as
it.
we were talking about earlier, they are going to go for 2 when they get the score. This is to go up by 7, and under center is Perales. Here they go.
And that's
up
that
the middle,
play.
handoff, and he's in. 2-point conversion is good for Lake Brantley. So they will jump ahead now 21-14 as the back still down on the play. He'll get up. That
was that slow mesh midline that they've been marching down the field with, and that's especially lethal in those real confined situations because you're getting a surge on the offensive line. You're the quarterback. You can just walk that handoff in. Theoretically, they both could have scored there, just like they did on their touchdown on the other end of the field earlier in the game.
And that's a solid 4.5-minute drive to kick off the second half for Lake Brantley. They jump ahead 21-14. No passes on that drive, all rushes. One good outside toss, but besides that, they just stuck to what they were good at, and that got them the touchdown.
And now if you're Melbourne, you've been a little bit streaky this game offensively. You've shown you've had some explosives. You need to get back to that explosiveness on this drive. See if they had really good sequencing on their original play script when they came out and started after that first drive. That second drive, they really set plays up for one another. I'd like to see them go back to something like that. Have the run set up a little bit of a pass. Have these little misdirection passes like they scored on that tunnel screen. I know that Lyle Neighbors got a bag of tricks. I don't think you need to dig deep into that bag of tricks, but you need to show a little ingenuity like you did on that second drive.
Yeah, I mean, it is only a one-score game, but Melbourne hasn't scored a touchdown offensively since the first quarter. So, we want to see them going back to some of those big drives because they haven't been able to move the ball consistently there in a little while. So we'll see if they can get back to it here as Lake Brantley getting set to kick off. Again, 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And I think it starts with getting E.J. Brown going at the running back position. He's had some pretty good runs. He's shown he's pretty quick, but he can fight for yards as well. And I think getting him going right here on first down, see if you can pick up 4 or 5 yards running the ball, and that's going to set, 2nd and 5. That opens your playbook quite a bit.
That was a booming kickoff, by the way. It was dropped initially at the 1-yard line. But Melbourne, with the no live kickoffs, will get it starting at their own 25-yard line, the equivalent of a touchback. We'll see what they can do here now, down by 7 once again. As we'd like to thank our long line of great sponsors, Kel Clean, Global Polygraph Analysis, Solutions Property Management, Archaic Design, and we'll get to the rest in just a moment. First down and 10 for Melbourne at their own 25 to start this first drive of the second half. Handoff right up the middle. There is E.J. Brown up the middle for a gain of about 4 or 5. And they'll bring up second down and 5 for Melbourne at their own 30.
Just what I said, nice simple power play. You got your big stud offensive lineman, James Hines, playing that left guard position, pulling around, leading up, and letting E.J. Brown squirt through and pick up. Like I said, 4 or 5 yards. Now you're ahead of the chains. You're on your script.
Brown limping off the field here after that one. There's been a lot of Melbourne players down here in the second half just to start. I want to make sure that all these guys stay healthy. It's just the Kickoff Classic. It still means something, but it is preseason. So you want to make sure you keep your players healthy for week 1.
Yeah, fortunately, no one really getting worked on the sidelines. Probably just, bumps, bruises, maybe a cramp here or there. It's still early in the season.
Second down and 5 now for Melbourne at their own 30. Outside snap, rolling out right, blitz coming from behind. He'll just throw it away. And that's a smart play by Pidala, something we haven't seen tonight. And that was one where nobody was open. I don't know if he just could sense it, but there's a defender coming right behind him.
That seemed like it might have been an RPO. They ran power action just like on the last play, but they had what looked like it should have been a little stick route there or a hitch, and receiver was just blocking. So, I don't know if there was maybe a miscommunication there or not, but I do believe quarterback thought he had an RPO there.
Yeah, just for the question there in the comments, just for the Kickoff Classic, there's no live kickoffs, just preseason. Here comes third down and medium. They're going to get the pass outside. It's caught down the sideline. It's going to be first down. Melbourne there by the pitch and catch out to Camarion Johnson.
That was a good play by Pidala, too, to hang in there. He had a outside linebacker, a defensive end coming off the edge, unblocked, and hang in there, deliver that throw. And we saw that earlier in the game when they went on a drive, that little leak out by the running back. They were able to pick up big yards again.
But as I was saying, kickoffs will be normal for the rest of the season. Movement up front, and that's going to be on Melbourne, I believe.
I think so, too. Left tackle looks like he might have jumped.
False start, so that's going to big play to set up first down, but now it's going to back them up to their own 38-yard line for first and 15.
And that's a momentum killer right there. You strung together a good couple plays there, and now you're behind the chains again. You're going to have to try and work and get this back up. Ideally you'd like to pick up 10 here, get back ahead of the chains.
First down and 15 now for Melbourne, back at their own 38-yard line. In the gun is Pidala. With the back is Johnson as Brown stays on the sideline. Handoff, Johnson up the middle, and he's going to get the penalty yards back, but that's about it. Not even.
You get half of
that's
it.
going to be only 2, rather. So it's going to be second down and 13 coming up now for Melbourne at their own 40. As the penalty's still taking a toll as they take it to the next down, still with more than 10 yards to go. Second down and 13. 2 receivers split either side. 1 back with Pidala. Pidala snap. Blitz coming hard on the slip screen. It's caught underneath by Johnson. Blockers in front. Cuts back and struggling, breaking a lot of tackles. That's only going to be a gain of about 3 or 4. And that's going to bring up third and long.
That was a well-timed screen. It was a well-called screen. It was a well-blocked screen. I think, James Hines absolutely leveled somebody out there, and he had a little bit of a convoy closer to the sidelines. Cut inside. I don't think he really needed to cut inside there. I think he picks up, we might be talking about a 3rd and 8 here instead of a 3rd and 11 if he stays to the outside there. But again, a freshman, young running back, and, you learn from that. You go look at film, and you're going to learn from that.
It's going to be 3rd and 9 now for Melbourne at their own 44-yard line. 5:20 to go in the third quarter. As you see on the top of your screen, Lake Brantley with the lead. 3rd down and 9. Pidala drops back, looking. Blitz coming off the edge. Throwing wide open the middle of the field. It's called in. Broken tackle. Nope, getting held on to, but that's going to be a big gain. And a first down Melbourne into Lake Brantley territory by number 80.
That was 10, Jack Casey on that one.
Number 10, Jack Casey.
9 to 10 there. Pidala delivered an absolute strike. That was a very well-thrown football in between the zone coverage there. Good catch and good pickup there by the Bulldogs.
As we got an official water break here with 5:04 to go in the third quarter, we'd like to thank the rest of our main sponsors: Connect Sports Fundraising, BlackRock Engineering and Technology, Zone 6 and the Zone 6 Reapers, EG Kicks, Beachway Volleyball Club, Best Private Investigations, Uber Zadi, and once again, I'd like to thank Kel Clean, Global Polygraph Analysis, Solutions Property Management, and Archaic Design. We'd also like to thank our main sponsor tonight, the Cart Guys, street legal golf carts for sale in Melbourne, Florida, serving all the Space Coast and beyond. They sell advanced EV, Bentelli, and Kodiak golf carts. They are Brevard County's #1 golf cart supplier. Get approved today and start shopping for the perfect street legal golf cart. They even offer delivery. Give them a call today at 321-914-3877. And after that big pitch and catch there to Casey, it's going to be first down and 10. Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 38-yard line. Pidala rolling out right. Has time to throw. Throwing on the run. It's popped up in the air. Incomplete. And that could have been dangerous. He was looking for Ty Field, who was open on the curl.
Second down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was an interesting route concept there. Typically when you roll out, you're going to have outside breaking routes. You had the streak on the outside receiver. You had the arrow route from the third receiver. Usually what you would see is the number 2 receiver either run a deep out route or kind of a curl to the outside. He broke that route to the inside, and that allowed the secondary to kind of converge on him there.
Second down for Melbourne.
Snap, handoff up the middle. Johnson slips down after a solid start to that play. It's only going to be a gain of about 2. It's going to be third down and 8. Third down and 8 coming up for Melbourne now at the Lake Brantley 35. Down by 7, 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. I call this 4-down territory. I think in a preseason game especially, you want to keep this drive rolling no matter what.
Jackson, it's always 4-down territory in my opinion. But, yeah, absolutely. This part of the field, you don't need to pick up 8, 9 yards here. You need to pick up 6.
Especially with live kickoffs and punts, or not live kickoffs and punts. This ball would only be downed or not be able to return. So, you're not going to, if it gets stopped on 4th down, it wouldn't be that much deeper anyway. Pidala throwing, caught on another hitch route there. That's going to be a gain of 10. First down, Melbourne to the Lake Brantley 25, as that was Jack Casey hauling it in.
Yeah, another pitch and catch to Casey. He's had some sure hands on this drive, kind of been the safety valve there, and another good pickup there and an excellent throw by Pidala.
Officials timeout here with 3:53 to go in the third quarter. Lake Brantley leading at 21-14. Remember, if you want to sponsor or represent your company on the Brevard Sports Network, you can call us at 321-693-7697 or email us at brevardsportsnetwork@gmail.com.
Well, it looks like we're going to get a measure here.
I don't see any way this isn't a first down.
It looked like a first down.
Looked like it was a good yard or 2 better, but I might be wrong. Yeah, this looks like a first down. Good to see the measurement, but that's going to be a clear first down for Melbourne.
And that's a first down.
So first down, Melbourne on the gain of 9 there to put them at the Lake Brantley 26-yard line. Caleb there with the BSN Super Zoom camera, showing you the measurement there, and we can confirm it's first down for the Melbourne Bulldogs. Late in the third quarter, and that first Lake Brantley drive this half knocked out almost half this quarter. That's the thing with the offense that they run. They run heavy. The clock runs, and you get a touchdown. It's just an overall great drive for that reason as well. Pidala drops back, blitz hard, coming, perfect spiral, but the receivers, it was dropped between 2 receivers, and neither of them adjusted to go get it. Pidala gets dropped hard, but he's good and ready to go for second down.
Yeah, I thought there might have been a little defensive holding there. There was definitely some contact between the secondary player and the wide receiver. Kind of got his little handsy there, but I guess the refs are going to let him play.
Yeah, that was a hard one. I don't know who he was targeting, if he was going on the far side or if it was the one closer to him. But it dropped dead between the 2 receivers, and neither of them kind of adjusted the route to come get it.
I guess we do have a penalty. I didn't see a flag get thrown. Yeah, and that's the right call. That was pass interference.
So penalty on Lake Brantley. So that's going to move Melbourne forward.
Yeah, that's going to give them the first down too.
And it's going to be first down, Melbourne inside the Cart guys' red zone. That's going to stick them at the Lake Brantley 13-yard line for first down and 10. Big opportunity for Melbourne to respond here on their opening drive of the second half as well.
And if anything, you think you're in field goal position. Now they're thinking 6. They're not thinking field goal, but, it's good to know that you're kind of in that range where you feel comfortable kicking a field goal if you have to.
First down and 10, Melbourne inside the red zone. Going to quick throw out. Oh, high. That was open. Jack Casey on the slant in the end zone. Just a little high, and it goes incomplete.
little high, a little inside, too.
That was a quick strike there. As we see E.J. Brown warming up on the sideline once again. May see him check back into the game here soon for Melbourne.
Well, you know, we saw it earlier in the game where he hitched on a slant route, and it, you know, kind of delayed the play up a little bit. That's exactly how you want to throw a slant route. As soon as he gets out of that break, you deliver it. Timing-wise, anyway.
Second down and 10 coming up from Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 13-yard line again. First down's at the 3-yard line. You can get a first down, but you're just as happy getting in the end zone here or aiming for the end zone. Second down and 10 now for Melbourne. Johnson the back with Pidala. Trips near side. Trips the way Pidala rolls. Great block there. Pidala throwing back corner. Standing there wide open. Touchdown Jack Casey from 13 yards out. Pidala to Casey, 9-10. And now the Bulldogs are an extra point away from tying it up with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and that was set up by that beautiful block by the running back there. Number 28, Kymerian Johnson, the freshman there, picking up a big block. And what a strike to the back corner of the end zone to Jack Casey. And it's been all Pidala and Casey on that drive on the pass plays as well.
Somehow nobody even on Casey. He was just standing there waiting for it. And the extra point to tie coming here for Brady Clark with 3:10 to go in the third quarter. Extra point up to tie. It is good, and with 3:10 to go in the third quarter, we're tied at 21. Miss Sandy Lee, the last score we got on Heritage Jensen Beach was at halftime. Heritage led Jensen Beach 15-2.
Score gummy.
So coming off that touchdown, we got a tie game once again with 3 minutes to go in the third. Both teams march down the field in about 4 minutes, and both score on their opening drives of the second half. And it's 21-21 in an absolute game tonight here at Melbourne High School between the Patriots and the Bulldogs tonight to kick off their season.
Yeah, a lot different than the game we watched last night.
Yeah. Tight game, but a lot more scoring and a lot more offense. It's at the start of the game, it was all those big chunk plays that got them down the field to score. This half, just to start, it has been the long drives that have made them down the field and getting in the end zone.
Well, I think it was a great sequence drive again. That, you know, we saw that on the second drive of the game where they went down and scored, and Coach Neighbor put together another nice sequence, set his plays up, and again rewarded for the with the touchdown.
Kickoff there, bobbled, and they'll take it up to the 25, and that's where they'll stay. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, all tied up at 21 here from Tom McIntyre Stadium. As Lake Brantley will take over, first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. It'll be interesting to see if they stick to all the run plays like they did their last drive. I mean,
that's
absolutely,
why not?
Yeah,
that's absolutely what they're going to do.
I see no reason to try and pass the ball here, but we'll see. Touchdown Heritage on a strip sack, scoop and score, or a strip and score. And so I assume the score of an extra point make it 22-2. This is going to be a run up the middle for Jensen Beach for a solid gain on,
Lake Brantley.
Lake Brantley.
And
I was reading Jensen Beach saying Lake Brantley.
That was a nice job by the Melbourne defense. They were running their 11th player in late, and he was playing defensive line, and run up the middle, missing a defensive lineman. That's a great job by the rest of that D line and the linebackers to kind of converge on that and stop it for a minimal game. What it could have been.
Gets them 4. Second down and 6 coming for Lake Brantley at their own 29. Handoff to the lead back there, pushing forward, pushing back, and one way or another, it's going to be a solid gain for Lake Brantley, but it's going to be third and short for the Patriots here with 2:15 to go in the third quarter.
And this is kind of their MO, though. They're completely comfortable with being 3rd and 1, 3rd and a long one, 3rd and 2 maybe. This is right in their wheelhouse. This is exactly where they want to be at.
Third down and 2 for Lake Brantley at their own 33-yard line. Quarterback under center, handoff straight up the middle. That's going to be first down Patriots on that quick third down run up the middle.
I got to tell you, I find it very interesting. Very rarely do they run it to either the wide side of the field or to the they got a Bulldog down, it looks like. But, you know, they're favoring the right-hand side and specifically the short side of the field, which I guess when you want to play in a phone booth like that, you're going to shorten the field as much as you possibly can. And then, you know, we'll see him hit him with, you know, a sweep to the outside to that wide side of the field.
So we have an injury timeout here with less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lake Brantley with a first down now with a Bulldog down on the field. Been a good game so far, good second half. Both teams scoring touchdowns on their drives, as Lake Brantley on their second drive of the half now after they scored on their opening drive on a quick touchdown run by Parker Perales. So with the extra point good, Heritage now up on Jensen Beach 22-2. I'd like to thank all of our great sponsors, Kel Clean, Global Polygraph Analysis, Solutions Property Management, Archaic Design Incorporated, Connect Sports Fundraising, BlackRock Engineering and Tech, Zone 6 and the Zone 6 Reapers, EG Kicks, Beachway Volleyball Club, Best Private Investigations, Uberzati, and the Cart Guys. The Bulldog down to play was Noah McNair, who forced that big fumble earlier on tonight. He'll need some help off the field.
Yeah, he's had a pretty big night playing that outside linebacker position. He's been all over the field. He forced that fumble. He's been on some key tackles and short gains for Lake Brantley, coming up big tackles and stopping things before they could get rolling. So I hope he's all right.
First down and 10, Lake Brantley at their own 39, run straight up the middle. And that's once again a good 5 yards on first down. That's what you're looking for with the Patriots.
4-yard pickup for Lake Brantley.
Kickoff classic is where you find out how much you've really been hydrating for practice.
Yeah, Caleb, you're absolutely correct. This is the game where you find out how conditioned you are and how hydrated you are. And, you know, I think playing a grueling offense like this, I mean, that certainly doesn't help either. I'm not, you know, I'm certain that, you know, these boys are in shape, but you get ground down after a while.
Quarterback keeps there. There's that toss you were looking for setting up, but Melbourne's all over it. That's a big loss forced by the Melbourne front.
Absolutely, and you know what? He was going to try and pitch it, and it's very smart that he did not, because as he was going down, that momentum would have sent that ball backwards, and that could have led to another scoop and score. So smart to not try and pitch it there. But, yeah, it's the first time we've actually seen that. The attempt at the pitch.
Well, Melbourne had one guy kind of trailing that lead group, so if he did pitch it, I think he was about to get brought down immediately or kind of picked out of the air.
Well, that's exactly how you got to play it. You know, your end man in the line of scrimmage, he's the read for the dive, so he's taking care of the fullback. You should have an inside linebacker scraping over to take care of the quarterback, and then you either have a safety or an overhang running that alley to take care of the pitch man.
Third down and 10 for Lake Brantley, their own 39. First pass of the second half. Perales rolls out, throws a laser, tipped up in the air, incomplete. And with that, it's 4th and 10. And I believe Lake Brantley might be punting for the first time tonight.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring on the punt unit there. And, I think in that situation, even if you went for the run, you pick up 6, 7, 8 yards, you might still end up punting here. Just because of where you're at on the field. So I think the pass might have been the right decision. It seems like, a lot of their passes have been rollouts, and there's somebody squirting through from that defensive line of Melbourne, and they're applying that pressure. He hasn't had a clean pocket all night to throw, and that's led to, some of these errant passes.
Looks like quarterback back there, Perales, to punt here on 4th and 10.
Well, we know it's not going to be a fake.
No. Melbourne getting a chance here on their second drive of the half. Only 16 seconds to go in the third quarter, so their drive will pretty much begin in the fourth quarter. And it's going to be a statement drive when it does start. Off this punt, Perales. That's a good boot.
Dang, no wonder he's the punter.
Up in the air, and it's downed for Melbourne just inside their own 25. And that's where they'll start with 9 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Surprised that kicker there wasn't the punter, but then you see Perales out there, and he just absolutely bombs it.
That was a great kick by Perales. Now Melbourne taking over again on that opening drive of the half. They got a nice touchdown from Pidala to Casey. And we'll see if they can replicate that to take the lead back going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they've got a little bit of momentum after that nicely executed drive in the previous possession. Digging back into that. What you were doing was working.
So we'll see 1st down and 10 for Melbourne at their own 25-yard line. Melbourne's done a good job integrating the pass and the run.
Yeah, they've been very balanced tonight. You're absolutely correct, Jackson, and they've done a very good job of keeping the offense balanced and not predictable.
E.J. Brown still not on the field for Melbourne. It's Johnson in the back, play fake. Pidala rolls out left. No real pressure, and that ball right in the hands wide open was Ty Field cutting out. It's dropped. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
And that was a good route by Fields, just a nice little whip route there. Fakes inside and gets the, I believe that's an outside linebacker covering a slot receiver, so that's always a mismatch, but gets the defender guessing inside and is able to create the separation to get outside. Just got to haul that one in. You're looking at a 1st down.
That's a tough one. I think starts to look upfield before you secure the ball. It's a simple mistake, but that's one, especially with that much space, can't be doing.
Only a sophomore too, though. So again, those mistakes are going to happen. This is a relatively young Melbourne team too.
It is. They lost 22 starters, I believe, last season. They lost a lot of 22 seniors. Play fake. Pidala blitz coming hard from behind, and Pidala's going to go down. That's going to be a loss of 10 on the play as Lake Brantley picks up a big loss.
Yeah, makes up for the coverage on the last play and comes in with the sack there. Unblocked, I mean, that's absolutely what you do. You're licking your chops if you're playing an edge position on defense and you get unblocked and they're dropping back to pass. You better be ready to roll.
That was a big loss. Now it's going to bring up 3rd down and 20, as that'll bring up the end of our 3rd quarter here from Tom McIntyre Stadium. Tie ball game, 21-all as we head to the 4th quarter.
Shoot, it's only 9.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Brevard Sports Network. 4th quarter action. The last 12 minutes go up on the board here, and we got a great game tied up at 21 apiece as Melbourne's facing a tough. It's going to be about a 3rd and 18 back at their own 17-yard line here to start the 4th quarter. And we'll see what they do here, what they dial up on 3rd and long. Pidala drops back. Blitz coming hard. It's that slip screen again. Johnson trying to make something happen. Cutting back. There is space. Johnson slips through. Pushing towards the 1st. Diving. He's going to be there or an inch short.
I think he's got it.
What a play.
Yeah, excellently timed screen there.
Kamarion Johnson.
Yeah, well executed screen, well blocked. And that, that defensive line, you tell them if it's too easy, something's wrong. You got to stop, retrace your steps, and go find that screen man, and they didn't, and Melbourne absolutely exploited that and picked up a much-needed 1st down here.
On 3rd and 17, the slip screen by Johnson converts on a gain of 19. 1st down and 10, Melbourne at their own 35-yard line here. 11 and a half minutes to go in this game. Pidala in the gun with Johnson. I say Melbourne's got 2 good backs as well this season. Johnson cutting it upfield. Johnson still fighting. That's going to be a good gain of 9 as Melbourne turning up the heat here to start the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Johnson only a freshman, and Brown is only a sophomore, so young backs they're going to have for a couple years as well. And, yeah, Brown looks pretty dang good in his own right.
I mean, some people thought this was going to be a regrouping season for Melbourne with a lot of new guys, but I'm telling you tonight, they look like they could, just jump right into this new team. They may be young, but they got talent.
Yeah, that Johnson rather looks good in his own right. We saw Brown earlier. Haven't seen him check back in the game, but
I still see him running back and forth on the sideline. He has been ever since he came out.
And, I got to be honest, from a coach's perspective, you maybe just sit him the rest of the game. It's a preseason game.
2nd and 2, Johnson's going to go backwards this time. Big tackle there by number 52 for
59. It looked. Oh, no, 59 was in on it. A couple of 50s out there, but, yeah, great job. It looked like in-man in the line of scrimmage might have been the play there. Unblocked. You got to sit on that, and he did exactly that and came up with a good play for his defense.
59's Dominic Acevedo. That's going to bring up another 3rd down for Melbourne. This one a little bit shorter than last time, only 3rd and 2 here at their own 43-yard line.
51, Johnny Wright checking into the game with that cowboy collar. Got to imagine this is going to be sort of a fullback look, I would imagine. Plays linebacker for him.
Most likely. He's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 for Melbourne at their own 43-yard line. There he is, lining up. 2 guys right behind Pidala plus a running back. I think this may just be a quarterback.
Little wishbone look.
Yeah. They got to call something here. And that's
I think we're going to get a delay a game.
That's not what you want to see if you're Melbourne. That's
Yeah,
a delay a game.
That.
On 3rd and 2. That makes it a longer 3rd and 7.
Jackson, have you seen any flags like physically be thrown? Like I know we've seen penalties, but I haven't seen. You know, I noticed that on that pass interference.
No, on the false starts, I saw some on false starts, but I think a lot of these they're just deliberating in their huddles.
They must be because I mean on that pass interference we saw earlier they didn't throw a flag either, and
the only one I saw for sure was on the false starts.
And that was
the first
very
half.
Beginning of the game too. Yeah, that's interesting.
Thanks for the update. That 52 on the tackle a few plays ago is Aiden Haker. 3rd down and 7 now for Melbourne. Push back to their own 38. They
try and go hard count there and pick up those yards back up.
And this is going to be
now you got to eat a timeout.
Melbourne timeout with 9:22 to go.
I'm going to be critical here. I don't love the hard count there because what do you have to gain out of it? If they jump, you're still sitting in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2.
Maybe on the last play. On the
last play. Yeah, you got to get set up though. The hard count here. No, I think you just go out and run a play. It's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, maybe a short 7.
Especially how tight of a game this is. You're giving up a timeout.
Yeah, you burned the timeout. Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that.
Now you really want to convert, well, more than you already did.
Yeah, now you're playing without that timeout could be necessary with how close this game's been.
Thank all of our viewers tonight from Melbourne, Lake Brantley, all across the county.
Great showing out of Lake Brantley tonight, too. Very active in the comments and good discourse going on in there. We do keep tabs of the comments as much as we can. Pretty good showing on the other side of the stadium, too, coming all the way over from the Orlando area.
Big 3rd down and 7 coming from Melbourne out of the timeout at their own 38-yard line. Pidala drops back. Blitz coming off the edge. He's going to go pick up the running back. Rifle over the middle, off the hands. That would have been a 1st down. Looking for Deuce Ingram. It's dropped, and now it's 4th down and 7. That's a tough break for Melbourne as they're going to send out the punting unit with 9:15 to go.
Now, I don't know if it was intentional, if he looked him off, because he had eyes for that running back leaking out. And 27, the outside backer, did a darn good job of diagnosing that and coming back out on it. But what it did is 12, the corner, was peeking in the backfield. And as a secondary player, that's a no-no. You don't peek in the backfield. But he was looking at the quarterback, and that moved him out towards that running back. And that's why you saw Deuce Ingram sitting with in the hole of that zone. And Lake Brantley is very fortunate that he didn't haul that one in.
New punter in here for Melbourne, trying to get the number. Ends in 2. Bouncing. Ooh, muff snap. Luckily, nothing to worry about.
That's Wyatt Votava.
There you go. Votava there to punt. That one's going to take a good bounce. And Lake Brantley will start at their own 25-yard line with 9 minutes to go here from Melbourne High School, all tied up at 21. Yeah, I agree with what you said there. I was noting that because that guy coming off the edge, that was going to be a nice run at the quarterback, but he decided to peel off and make sure that running back doesn't leak out because that's where Melbourne's seen a lot of big gains.
Well, that's what you got to do, especially if you're running some sort of fire zone and that's a designed blitz. You're accounting for that guy because you have other players that are doing other things there. You've got to peel off on that, and a lot of guys, they don't do that. They're not paying attention. They say, I'm blitzing, all right, I'm going. That's a heady football play to know, all right, he's peeling off, I've got to come with him. Otherwise, they're going to pick up the 1st down there.
Under center, here comes Lake Brantley. Handoff up the middle. Ball comes out. Melbourne thinks they have it, and they do. The 4th fumble recovery of the night and the 1st turnover of the 2nd half. And the Bulldogs defense now starting in scoring position with 9 minutes to play.
Yeah, what a break by Melbourne there. What a great break on their end. Being to come up with their 4th turnover of the night. And, setting your offense up, it doesn't get much better than this as an offense. You're in scoring position. Striking distance.
That was a big one. And that one looked like it may have been something maybe after the handoff, right as he got hit.
Yeah, just down in that pile. Melbourne defensive line linebackers reaching after that football, trying to get it. We've seen a couple fumbles tonight.
It's going to be 1st down and 10, Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 28-yard line. 9 minutes to go in a tie ball game. Pidala under center, 2 backs, I formation, handoff to the up man, the fullback, and he's going to get dragged down for a loss. That was number 25 on the carry for Melbourne.
Daniel Negron.
First carry for him tonight.
Yeah, I don't. That wouldn't have been my choice on first down.
Also 2.
Yeah, I would have stuck to what you've been doing. Power with your freshman running back. Actually, it looks like Brown's checked back into the game.
E.J. Brown checking back in for Melbourne. 2nd down and 12 now at the Lake Brantley 30. Pidala dropping back. No blitz throwing over the middle. That one's hauled in just short of the line to gain. The ball's out. It's with Lake Brantley, but
they're
they
signaling for 3rd down here.
Jack Casey.
Yeah, and that's been his favorite target tonight. And he's doing a very good job of sitting in those zone coverages, finding an open spot, sitting in it, and Pidala's doing a great job of delivering it on time into that empty zone and picking up, what the defense is giving you.
Picks up about 7. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 now for Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 23. Pidala, quick drop, throwing. Wide open out, it's Casey. Breaking tackles inside, 10-5. Touchdown, Melbourne. Casey from 23 yards out. And there's a flag late on a late hit. Back here by the line of scrimmage, but the main is Jordan Pidala to Jack Casey from 23 yards out, and Melbourne takes the lead with 7.5 to go.
No, that's going to come back.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's on Melbourne.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold on Melbourne, and that's unfortunate because that was a heck of an effort by Casey. And that's, again, just sitting in that zone, running the quick little hitch route and breaking a tackle and going, and the Melbourne faithful is not happy.
It's always funny to me. I bet you all the money I've seen, these fans did not watch the line of scrimmage.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, I thought there was something after the play. I didn't see the flag come in, but.
Well, it's always a boo when you get caught holding. It's always where's the holding.
But that's
when the other.
To be honest, but take it back now. That's a big loss. Now that's going to be 3rd down and 15. Back at the Lake Brantley 33 instead of a touchdown.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate turn of events, especially getting the ball where you did off of the turnover.
Pidala 3rd and 15 now, airing it out, lobbing. Casey's
separation.
there again. It's tipped away. Good defense there by number 12.
Yeah, 12. Casey made some separation there, and 12 had some pretty good closing speed there to get back on that and potentially come up with the interception. But I do like that he didn't intercept it, and here's why, Caleb. Because now it's going to be 4th down all the way back at the 34-yard line, whereas opposed to that, he would have caught it and landed about the 2 or 3-yard line, and they would have taken over the ball there.
I do not have a name for number 12 on Lake Brantley, but that was a good defensive play on Casey there. And 7:17 to go in the game. Melbourne going to go for it. 4th down and 15 for the Lake Brantley 33. This is going to prove to be a big play in this game.
Oh, yeah, this is massive here.
Trips far side, one near side, one back with Pidala. 4th down and 15. They show blitz, they pull out of it. Quick throw, short, pitch back. Oh, the hook and ladder. Touchdown, Melbourne. E.J. Brown. No flags, the hook and ladder. Trickery, and Melbourne with the touchdown.
Wow. Didn't think I'd see a hook and ladder tonight, but here we are. What a well-timed hook and ladder, too. It looked, all right, we're just going to go see what we can get here. And here comes E.J. Brown skirting around the outside, gets the pitch off. I didn't think they were going to be able to get it off there, and they certainly did. And there he goes, streaking down the sidelines. How exciting.
33-yard touchdown for Melbourne. This one stands. And yeah, that one, I didn't see him come through. I was like, that's way short of the line on a curl. And then Brown comes flying by. Perfect pitch. Touchdown, Melbourne. And with 7 minutes to go now, they jump ahead by 6, pending 7.
And in the play previous, that was Anthony Ayala on the coverage. Great coverage, Anthony.
And the kick is good. Melbourne takes a 28-21 lead with 7 minutes to go. And now the ball is back in Lake Brantley's court here to try and respond to the Melbourne Bulldogs.
Bulldogs going old school with a little hook and ladder play.
And I love the play calling tonight. Last night we saw a lot of vanilla play calling in the preseason game. Tonight both these teams pulling out all the stops.
Oh, how gutsy to run that on 4th and very long and coming up with it. I mean,
there's definitely two sides to the Kickoff Classic in the preseason. Some teams opt to go and just go with very basic plays, just run the ball. Or the other side of it, it's a preseason game. Go out and do what you want. And for Melbourne, that's taking a chance, and it pays off in a big way.
Yeah, gutsy play call. I love it.
As he gets set to kick it away, it is Brady Clark. And the kick is up and away. It's going to be received, and they'll just take it up to the 25. And down it there. So Lake Brantley with 7 minutes to go will take over at their own 25, trailing 28-21. As Melbourne continue to fight.
Yeah, and that momentum shifted after that. I mean, got the crowd going, got the sideline going, and now you got to expect your defense has got to spark behind them too.
And I don't care if it's preseason, regular season, state championship. This is a good game.
Oh, yeah, this is an excellent football game.
And we are in for it here. 7 minutes remaining. And it is 28-21, Melbourne. First down and 10. Handoff right up the middle. There's a hole, but he slips down. That had daylight for number 4, Tavin Hebert. And it's going to bring up second and short.
And we've seen a lot of slipping tonight. I don't like turf. I don't like turf. You see a lot of slipping and, you know, knock wood. I'm not even going to say the I word here, but that's where turf happens a lot. I would much rather natural grass. And it's a nice looking field, don't get me wrong, but there's been a lot of slipping, especially after the rain that we had earlier.
Second down and 2. Handoff right up the middle. Pushing forward, breaks 3. And once again, second effort by Lake Brantley is going to get them the first down up to around their own 45. There's a Patriot down on the play. See who that run was by. Got the number here in the comments.
Brantley player down on the play, official timeout.
On the carry, that was number 12.
2.
Or sorry, number 2. And I'll get that name to you in just a moment. As we have an injury timeout there. Number 2 in the run was Tristan Roth. As we have a player down, 6:25 to go in the game. It'll be a first down coming up for Lake Brantley at their own 44. I'd like to thank all of our great sponsors here at Support the Brevard Sports Network: Kel Clean, Global Polygraph Analysis, Solutions Property Management, Archaic Design Incorporated, Connect Sports Fundraising, BlackRock Engineering and Technology, Zone 6 and the Zone 6 Reapers, EG Kicks, Beach Wave Volleyball Club, Best Private Investigations, Uber Zotti, and our main sponsor of the night, the Cart Guys. As we thank all of our great sponsors for their continued support of the Brevard Sports Network. They're a big part of bringing these games to you every Friday night. Still in an injury timeout here with 6.5 minutes to go in the game. As he's going to be helped up. That's the Lake Brantley offensive lineman.
Yeah, you just hope the young man's all right. You know, preseason game, you always hate to see a player go down, but especially in a game that doesn't count towards your record, and really hope the young man's okay.
Both these teams giving it their all tonight. It may be preseason, but you know, with a game this tight, there's a lot of bragging rights. You want to start off your season on the right foot. For a lot of these Melbourne players, these young guys, maybe their first chances to start. For a guy like Jordan Pidala, the quarterback, it's his first game as a Melbourne Bulldog as well. So there's a lot to fight for, but yeah, definitely in a preseason game, not what you want to see.
Yeah.
6.5 minutes we're looking at here. It's going to be a first down. Lake Brantley coming up. They trail by 7. O'Galley up 19-0 over Titusville. We got John Carroll Catholic up 14-3 over Holy Trinity in the fourth quarter. And that is all the score updates we've gotten since the last time we checked in. As that O'Galley-Titusville game is also live on the Brevard Sports Network. Alan Zlodzinski, Anthony Knockreiner, and Chase Alexander on the call for that one. We got our great crew here at the Brevard Sports Network this year. Got myself, Logan Pettit, Caleb Brown, Alan Zlodzinski, Anthony Knockreiner, Chase Alexander, and many others up on our Facebook page posted yesterday. Our full lineup for this football season. Donnie Reber Jr. as well.
It looks like the player's up, walking off his own power as well. God, you love to see that after being down like that.
Carrollwood Day leads Rockledge 38-6.
Oof.
Tough start for the Rockledge Raiders tonight. The Rockledge score again is 38-6, Carrollwood Day. So coming out of the injury timeout, it's 1st down and 10.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Lake Brantley.
Lake Brantley at their own 44-yard line. 6:25 to go in the game. As the clock winds, 1st down and 10, Lake Brantley. Staying in the same formation we've seen all night. They're going to go with the pitch this time to the outside. Good blocking. He's got the edge. He's going to get knocked down, but there's a flag in the backfield.
Come back. Thrown in the area of holding. That's what I'm going to go ahead and assume it was. And they hit you with that outside rocket toss. It's really the few times that they run outside, and it's on that toss sweep that they like. And they've picked up good yardages every time they've ran it, but I believe this one's going to be coming back.
It's going to be a hold on Lake Brantley. That's a big momentum killer. That's going to make it 1st down and 20.
Yeah, and this is, you're not necessarily the way you run your offense, and it's not a bad way to run an offense. I mean, shoot, when I played here, we made a deep run in the playoffs running a very similar offense. It's just you get stuck behind the chains like this, it's hard to recover, and especially the way that we've seen Lake Brantley throw the football tonight or attempt to throw the football. It's it's just not in their wheelhouse right now. So big recovery coming if you're Lake Brantley, and Melbourne defense is certainly bowed up quite a bit.
1st and 20, Lake Brantley back at their own 35. Handoff up the middle. And normally that'd be good yardage on 1st down, but when it's 1st and 20, 4 yards, not exactly what you're looking for.
Now at least it was 1st down though, and it wasn't 3rd and 20. I guess that is the saving grace, is you do have the chains, but yeah, you never want to start in a and 20 position.
Now it's going to be good 2nd down and 15 now for Lake Brantley at their own 39. Under center, give right up the gut. Good carry there to get just past the original line of scrimmage. Now it's 3rd down and 9 in a territory that I think it's 4 down territory for Lake Brantley.
Oh, they're absolutely thinking 4 downs here. I mean, just running 2 straight gives like that. They picked up the penalty yardage. You're looking at 3rd and 9, maybe a long 9. They're going to go back to that run and try and make it, 4th and 4, 4th and 5 if they can. They're absolutely thinking 4 downs.
As Xavier Larice with a pick 6 for O'Galley. 3rd down and 9 for Lake Brantley at their own 45. Lots of motion.
Hard
a lot
count.
of movement. Run right up the middle, and that's only going to be a gain of 4. And for them, that's going to bring up 4th down and 5 for Lake Brantley at their own 49. And I think their offense will stay out there. 4:24 to go. They trail by 7. Heritage still up on Jensen Beach. Last score we saw was 22-2. Big play coming up in this game. 4 minutes to go and counting. 4th down and 5. Lake Brantley at their own 49-yard line.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Sally right here. A little misdirection. I don't think they're going to pass. I really don't.
They shouldn't. 4th down and 5. Handoff up the middle, and he's brought down immediately by the Melbourne defense. It's a stop.
Quarterback.
Tavin Hebert is stuffed Turnover on downs. Melbourne will take over with 3:49 to go in this game.
Quarterback should have kept that. Keep was the read there, and he would have had the first down and then some had he pulled it. And we've seen that a couple times where he should have pulled it and he didn't. But good job by the Melbourne defense to bow up there. And all you got to do is drain 3 minutes, 49 seconds off the clock, and you're going to start the preseason with a win.
First down and 10. Melbourne will take over in good territory at their own 48-yard line. They lead by 7 with under 4 minutes to go.
You put the ball in the air at all on this drive? I wouldn't. I'd run the ball and just let them either burn their timeouts or just eat up that clock. You know, because you got to look at it this way. Say you do get to a 4th down and you end up punting. They're not operated to run a 2-minute offense.
No. Pidala gives. Brown bouncing outside, cutting up field. That's a great run on first down for about 5. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 5.
You got another Patriot down.
Actually, it's game of 6. 2nd down and 4. Another Patriot down on the play. Clock stops with 3:35 to go. I'd like to thank our head sponsor tonight, the Cart Guys. Street legal golf carts for sale in Melbourne, Florida, serving all the Space Coast and beyond. They sell advanced EV, Bentelli, and Kodiak golf carts. They are Brevard County's #1 golf cart supplier. Get approved today and start shopping for the perfect street legal golf cart. They even offer delivery. Give them a call today at 321-914-3877. As the player is up and off the field now, or working his way for Lake Brantley, is going to bring up a 2nd down and 4 for Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 46-yard line. With a big opportunity here to close this one out and start the preseason off with a win.
Bulldogs facing a 2nd down.
2nd down and 4 now for Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 46. Clock ticking, 3:20 to go. Melbourne really taking their time.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what you got to do. Snap the ball when he puts his hand up.
And handoff right up the middle to Brown. Lake Brantley was ready for that one. That's going to go down as a loss. And now it's going to be 3rd and medium for Melbourne as the clock ticks inside 3 minutes to go.
I think Lake Brantley's going to take a timeout, and I think that's the right call. You know, that was interesting. It looked like Lake Brantley's defensive line was like a yard off of the line of scrimmage. It's a little far back. Maybe it's just the angle we were on, but great job by that defense, you know, sniffing out the power play and coming in for the stop.
Yeah, it's going to bring up now a 3rd down and about 5 for Melbourne after the Lake Brantley timeout, their first of the half with 3 minutes to go. So now both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. It's going to be interesting. If Lake Brantley gets the stops, take a timeout, it'll be around 2.5-ish minutes to go in the game. And you're right, they're not set up to run a 2-minute offense, but they're going to have to find something here. They would have 1 timeout left at that point. So
the thing is, I just don't know that you can keep running that midline play because I feel like Melbourne is just going to sell out on it. You know, that's where you've had the most success tonight, and you've shown that you can make big plays off of it. But in a 2-3 minute situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a play that makes big plays, but you can't predict when it's going to happen. You're not setting it up every play to go 60 yards. You're setting it up to get those yards, and you may get lucky on a few. It's not like a 4 verts where you're expecting the big play. Ooh, movement up front. That's on Lake Brantley. And that's going to be an offsides, and I think that's 5 yards. That'll be first down Melbourne, and that's huge.
It'll be close to it.
Whoa. One guy's going the wrong way. The call was offsides on Lake Brantley.
Yeah. It's the preseason for the refs, too. cut him some slack. Yep, and that's going to put him at the first down, I do believe.
They're not going to give him the first down. I guess it was 5.5.
I don't know, that's awfully close. Yeah, that's a first down.
First down, Melbourne at the Lake Brantley 42 with 3 minutes to go. And a costly move there by Lake Brantley.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking, man, and he knows you can't do that. But in that situation, you got to hold your water.
That's one as a defensive lineman, you're just told don't even tune it out, look at the ball, watch it. The second that ball moves, then you go.
And the clock was running there, and Lake Brantley's head coach pointed that out.
Stoppage on the field here, 2:47 on the clock.
They're trying to figure
Melbourne
out
up by
the
7.
clock situation. It was 3:01 when they set the ball, and then they ran the clock, but they were coming out of a timeout. So I don't know if the penalty on the defense incurred a running clock or not, since it was coming off of a timeout.
Last score we saw for the Heritage game was 22-2, Panthers on top of Jensen Beach. Heritage is a team I think that I have high expectations for this season. They got a lot of new additions. They got a strong team out there, and you'll see a lot of their games are here on the Brevard Sports Network as they put the clock now up to 2:55.
Yeah, and it's going to stay stopped here.
It's going to be first down and 10. Melbourne now at the Lake Brantley 42. Lake Brantley got to force a quick 3 and out. Brown bouncing it outside, up the sideline. First down and more for Brown, but there's a flag down at around the 40. So I think this big play is going to come back.
I think you're right.
That would have been huge.
I think you're right. I think they're going to tag one of the receivers for holding on the outside there.
And that's hard because that stops the clock.
It does stop the clock, and that's, it's those mistakes you can't have. And ordinarily, I don't get too bent out of shape over a
and a hold's a big one. That's 10.
Yeah, but it's a penalty of aggression. It's not a self-inflicted wound, but he got caught doing it there. And this is an inopportune time because, theoretically, if Lake Brantley gets the ball back, we've seen him go yard on the opening play of their offensive series, and it's possible. So you really want to, if you score, you're going to seal the game. That's a certain, but you definitely want to bleed off as much time as you possibly can.
First down and 20 for Melbourne at their own 48. They got to get all the way to the Lake Brantley 32-yard line here for a first down. But you do have a chance to run out some clock here with a fresh 3 downs still. 2:48, Lake Brantley with 2 timeouts.
I still would not throw the football.
No. They're going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson cutting back upfield, spinning out of some tackles here, but that's going to be no gain at all as he'll go backwards there. And we're going to get a quick timeout by Lake Brantley, I believe. It's the only reason the clock will be stopped. Yep, second timeout of the half for Lake Brantley, 2:38 to go. Now it's second and still 20. This could be interesting.
Yeah, even second and 20 here. I'm not putting the ball in the air. Not at this junction in the game. Because
you don't need the first down would be ideal, but it's not going to.
You don't need it.
Make or break.
You don't need it, and a punt here.
You can also put some faith in your defense. Four turnovers forced tonight, and they've held them scoreless for a little while, over a quarter now.
Punts are dead too, so you kick one to the 15-yard line. That's a long way to go, and what I'm going to assume be about 2 minutes, even less than 2 minutes. I think you play for the punt here.
And at that point, Lake Brantley will most likely be out of timeouts.
Right.
Because they only have 1 left. And this is only second down. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Especially due to the fact how Lake Brantley sets up their offense. They've been in the same formation all night, and that is not a formation that plays to, 2-minute or under offense. 2 receivers split to the side here. Second down and 20 for the Melbourne Bulldogs. As they bring the blitz. That's a hard blitz. 2 off the edge, squeak through, and that's going to be another play. No gain for Melbourne. So that's going to bring up third and 20. Lake Brantley takes their final timeout of the game with 2:32 to go ahead of third down and 20. So you think about, if you think 30 seconds go off the clock, each of these next 2 plays even, that could knock you down to a minute and a half for Lake Brantley to set up.
I'll tell you exactly what I would do here. Jackson, I would run the football again, and then I'd take a delay of game.
Yeah.
What do you got to lose? You know, punts are dead, so you don't have to worry about the snap flying over his head. You know, it gives you a little bit more room to try and get a good punt off. I think the play is run the ball, get what you can get. I mean, if you break one, you break one. That's great. But get what you can get and then take the delay of game.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see on both sides. Again, I'm still interested in what Lake Brantley's plan is going to be here. Do they have any other formation in their playbook? Is that – because, yes, they can spring big. Can you rely on that? Not necessarily. The passing game, I don't think you can consistently say this is how we're going to win this game.
I think – if you get it with like a minute 50-something left, you might have I don't know.
It's
going to be tough.
No timeouts, too. 3rd down and 20. Handoff Melbourne, cutting up field.
Yep, and that's
it's
exactly
going to be a short
right
gain with Brown. That will bring up 4th down here for Melbourne. They'll run the clock for a bit here. It's a good 4th and 16, or 4th and 15 now at the Lake Brantley 47-yard line. Melbourne leads by 7 here as... Yeah, I think Melbourne's just going to probably take this delay game.
Yeah, I would tell him go ahead and move that thing back 5 yards because I'm going to let this clock bleed and I'm going to take this delay game, please. Good job. You know, a lot of times you'll see a coach in this situation want to throw it and try and pick up the first down. You know, you're up. You know, the ball's in their court at this point. You don't need to do that. This is a very well coached situation here to do that. Now, I wouldn't have taken the timeout, but.
Timeout Melbourne with a minute 43 to go.
Melbourne calls a timeout with 1:43 left to play in the game.
Two of them are bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is actually a good score update because this is the district Melbourne's in. Harmony currently trails American 39-7. And that is not a Brevard County team, Harmony, but that is a team in Heritage, Melbourne, and Vieira's district. So that's a team to monitor throughout this season. And just to see how they are, because each one of those teams inside this county will have to play them. So thanks for the score update. So we got a break in the action here. This is going to be big. We'll see what Lake Brantley comes out with a minute 43 to go. Melbourne's going to be ready for it. And again, my only thing is, do they have anything to switch up, or do they just kind of keep going with what they've been doing?
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah.
I think we see a lot more plays to the edge just simply because you have a better chance of getting out of bounds to stop the clock. You know, you don't have any more timeouts. So.
And you've seen a lot of the bigger plays. They've had some good ones right up the middle, but the bigger ones have come right off that edge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we go, a punt coming out of Brady Clark and Melbourne. Let's see where this one goes. That's a good kick. And it's going to be bounced back. And now Lake Brantley will take over their own 11. 89 yards, a minute and a half. As we got our first final of the night, Heritage kicks off the season in their kickoff classic with a victory over Jensen Beach, 22-2.
Too many twos.
Yeah, scoregami.
Scoregami indeed.
Gotta be.
Running wild, brother.
Well, actually, so I guess it didn't matter where that kick went because I think the default's the 25 anyway. So that kick got to the 11, but they're starting at the 25. So it doesn't seem like kicking even matters.
What's the point of kicking it?
Yeah.
Just give them the ball at the 25-yard line.
I guess it's the 25 if they're inside of it, and if it goes short of that, then the receiving team gets it from there because I think one kick started at the 30.
It took time off the clock, so I mean.
Yeah, for Melbourne. Here we go. First down and 10. Lake Brantley at their own 25. They got 75 yards, no timeouts, down 7, a minute and a half. They are going to roll out left, fake the run, play action, rolling out, throwing a dump. It's a low pass. It is dropped, incomplete. Second down and 10. I mean, I get it's going to get you down the field quicker passing the ball, but I can't say one time tonight a pass has gone well for Lake Brantley.
You know, the rollout's what they've been sticking to, and that's kind of a staple of this offense, but you've really got to have a seal block on the side you're rolling out to, and every single time they've rolled out, we've seen interior pressure that has sped that play up for the quarterback. They're not getting the seal that they need to, and that's causing everything to go quicker, and lead to poor passes.
Second down and 10, rolling out right. Melbourne was there on it. Blitz coming, man goes down. He's got to commit to something, trying to take off.
You got to go out.
And he's going to go down in bounds for only a gain of 4, or a gain of 5. 3rd and 5, Lake Brantley at their own 30. Clock ticking, a minute 13 and counting. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, you got to go out of bounds there. I understand you're fighting for extra yards, but you're not gonna break one at that point. Get out of bounds and stop the clock.
It still just looked indecisive to me. He was still kind of looking downfield while he was scrambling. You got to commit, put the head down, and go. Under a minute to go here. 3rd and 5, Lake Brantley. Roll out left. Blitz coming. Airing it out. One-on-one overthrown, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 5. Last chance for Lake Brantley.
They had 2 open in the flat for the first down. You didn't need that.
And that was one that he wasn't even open yet. That was just kind of trying to throw him open, and he overthrew it.
Yeah, 2 was breaking to the sidelines, too. I mean, gosh, he could have caught it, got to the 42, 43-yard line and stepped out of bounds.
Here we go. 4th down and 5. Lake Brantley. Game on the line. 47 seconds at their own 30. They got to get all the way to the end zone here. A lot of movement up front. I saw Melbourne go first.
The defense moved
I
first.
saw Melbourne go first.
The defense caused that, and they're going to call it on Lake Brantley.
They call a false start on Lake Brantley.
I don't agree with that.
Me neither.
The defensive lineman jumped first.
And that makes it 4th and 10. And that's just unfortunate for Lake Brantley. Unless I missed some tiny movement by Lake Brantley. The first full movement I saw was Melbourne.
The defensive lineman moving can't cause a false start.
Yeah, so I don't know.
If they come forward. Now, if you shift to the side, that's different. But
4th down and 10. Lake Brantley, roll out left. Blitz coming. Throwing it. Caught. Pushing towards the first. I think he got it.
It's going to be so close.
Oh, my.
It's going to be
Gain of 10.
Very close.
It depends on forward progression because he got hit backwards.
I don't know that
but he was running towards the first.
He's short.
I think he's short as well.
Yep.
And it's a stop by Melbourne. And that's going to do it as Melbourne's going to come take the field with 40 seconds to go. And the Melbourne Bulldogs, what a play to stop them short on 4th and 10. It's a gain of 9 3/4, but not 10.
Well, that's heartbreaking if you're Lake Brantley. Best formation in football right here.
Victory formation coming up for Melbourne. 40 seconds to go. They lead it by 7. But all that doesn't matter now. And as in his Melbourne debut, Jordan Pidala will line up in the most coveted position in football. Take a knee.
Pretty good game out of Pidala, too, especially when he started finding Jack Casey there sitting in the zones. And
if I'm not mistaken, I think he had all 4 of their touchdowns. I don't think they had a rushing touchdown.
You might be right, yeah. Well, there was a defensive touchdown.
Oh, there you go. 3 touchdowns tonight for Pidala. And that is going to do it. The Melbourne Bulldogs kick off the 2023 season victorious over the Lake Brantley Patriots, 28-21. Great game, both sides of the ball. 4 turnovers to 0 for Melbourne. The statement thing tonight defensively. Final thoughts, Logan.
Yeah, I mean, what a good football game, and I think both of these teams are going to have pretty solid seasons. Lake Brantley's got that hard-nosed play, and I think Melbourne really, for such a young team and losing so much talent that they did, really that defense is just as stout as ever, and if they clean a couple things up on offense and really start finding their rhythm, I don't know how big that drop-off is going to be.
Yeah, I think Melbourne's going to be all right this year, folks, and a great way to start off the year for the Melbourne Bulldogs. They win the Kickoff Classic over Lake Brantley, 28-21. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We thank all of our great sponsors, and most notably, real quick, Kel Clean, Global Polygraph Analysis, Solutions Property Management, Archaic Design, Connect Sports Fundraising, BlackRock Engineering and Tech, Zone 6 and the Zone 6 Reapers, EG Kicks, Beachwave Volleyball Club, Best Private Investigations, and Uber Zadi, and our main sponsor tonight, the Cart Guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And for Logan Pettit, Caleb Brown, I'm Jackson Robb. Have a great night, everybody. Make it a sports night.